Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Big Finish fans, and this is a very exciting one of our favourite streams to do of the year. But we've had many favourites this year with Stephen Noonan.
Yeah, it's giving this one a run for its money a bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Today we are talking about our 5 favourite Big Finish releases of 2023. So we're taking stock and going, right, this has been Big Finish so far. Here are our 5 favourite releases. As ever, I am joined with Luke.
Yes, hello everyone. Here I am. It's is this the second or third time we've done this now?
I think it's the third time. I think we started in 2021. I think
might be.
Maybe.
I know we certainly did the big tier list of all of 2021, didn't we? And then 2022. This is like our halfway mark, isn't it? It's like the road to that big tier list. Where we just have a look at our favourites. What's really tickled us so far this year? What's tingled our molecules, as Rick used to say on the podcast. I don't think he's come out with that in a while, actually.
No, that's quite a throwback in itself, really.
Yeah, bring back the tingling molecules, Nick.
Put that on
he definitely listens to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone in the chat. Hello, Joe Bowers.
hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Hello, with the small collection, and hello, Daniel Hager.
Looking forward to the birthday haul. I look forward to knowing what you got, what goodies you have.
Yeah, please do share if you're ready to.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to? What have you been up to before, more people join and miss the top 5?
I mean, catching up on some Big Finish.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to get through everything I've bought so far this year. There are like some box sets that are still slipping by the wayside, like War Master. And War Doctor as well. But yeah, I did do part 1 of the War Doctor today. A Mother's Love. It's off to a good start, but yeah, it's just there's only so much time to listen to Big Finish. So
and June's been quite a big month anyway, in terms of like the big 4th Doctor box set, 7th Doctor, 60th special. I'm sure there's another one there.
Yeah, I mean, War Master June as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Ark. Yeah, it's been quite a big old month, really.
I didn't start the robots until this month either, but luckily July seems to be a much more quiet month, so that'll be my time to catch up on all that. So yeah, who knows? Maybe there is something out there I've not listened to yet that would change this list, but well, we'll share all of that when we get round to the big tier list. But I mean, I spent nearly 300 quid today on Big Finish.
yeah. Just so you can get a £10 off.
Yeah. Well, it's just that thing of I'm gonna buy it sooner or later anyway.
You might have that incentive now.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're gonna buy with that £10?
Not a clue yet.
I've got ideas.
I mean, you get it's just £10 off of something as well. You don't have to buy something that's exactly £10, which is good because there's not much Big Finish left that's exactly £10. It's all going up a bit, but that's all to talk about later. So yeah, coming up tonight, we're doing our top 5, throwing some honourable mentions in there as well. We've got 2 separate top 5s. Ben's got one, I've got one. I'm sure there'll be some crossover there, whether or not things are in exactly the same place. Same thing comes up twice, I imagine. I mean, we don't know each other's top 5s yet, but we have a somewhat good idea because we've been speaking about Big Finish the past 6 months. We know what we've liked and disliked for the most part. But yeah, so you never know. There may be some surprises there, and I'm sure those of you who are regular viewers will also have some guesses as to what's going on with our lists. But after that, we'll then get into the news. So we're sort of like taking a look at the past 6 months and then into the future, aren't we? As we discuss the news. And of course, talking to you all in the chat as well. But first, how have you been, Ben?
I've been all right. It's very much like you. Big Finish. That's been quite nice catching up on like the recent 4th Doctor set. McCoy. That's been mainly my week really and work. So it's been all right, really. Been all right. Yeah.
Ooh, hello, stylish one. Thank you for joining us.
Hello. Good evening. And if you've listened to any 2023 releases, let us know your favourites. Be interesting to see if there's any crossover between our lists and any of your favourites.
Yeah. If you are watching this on replay in the future, please do share those in the comments below as well. We'd love to hear all your thoughts.
What releases have been tingling your molecules?
We're bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
Position.
Yeah.
Hashtag bring back tingling molecules on Twitter. Yeah, do it.
Absolutely.
Send it to Nick.
Send it to Nick. Go on. You know you want to.
Oh, Tom Mason says Once and Future 1.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if that pops up on either of our lists. But yeah, shall we take a look back at how we feel about 2023 so far? Oh, he's got
the see, you can tell where we pushed the boat out with these because they're there. Yeah. Should we talk about it? Because obviously 2022, I think was an interesting year. I think it was a year of them trying to find how it was a period of adjustment, I would say. I think.
Yeah, with the relaunch, it was seeing how that was going to work. We had new actors as the Doctor to get used to, with Stephen Noonan and Michael Troughton both debuting that year.
Yeah.
We also had different producers but different Doctors, didn't we? Now things have been shaken up quite a bit. It was certainly an adjustment period, both for Big Finish themselves and I think for us as fans as well, having been used to the main range for so long. And what that provided. Now it was sort of like, let's see what they bring to us with this relaunch. These classic Doctors box sets, I think, is the way they're pitching them, isn't it? With the bundle titles. So, do you think so far 2023 has been a step up or step down from 2022? Then
I think it's been a bit of a step up. I think Big Finish are consistently brilliant. And I think what we spoke about in private is that Big Finish are at a level where they're consistently good. And I think there hasn't been a stinker this year. And I think what we're noticing is it's harder for there to be a breakaway release where you're like, yeah, that's there. I think that this has been the top 5 where I'm like, they're all brilliant. I don't know what to put on it. There's normally standouts. And this one, I don't think there's been as many standouts. And that's a real big compliment with the quality they're producing.
Right. I think in some ways for me, it's been like a step up and a step down. Because, like I said, it's more consistent across the board this year, I'd say.
Yeah.
But at the same time, nothing is jumping out at me as quite as strong. Like last year, you had more releases that were really, wow, this is amazing, or oh, that was disappointing. Here, it's just all pretty good stuff for the most part.
Yeah.
And so it certainly made choosing the bottom half of this top 5 a bit difficult. But yeah, I think there's also been a change in quality in that some Doctors that I think were doing really well last year, the ball's suddenly been dropped a bit.
Yeah.
And then there's others that I wasn't really too keen on that now suddenly it's working better for me. And so, yeah, it's funny how that works out, really, isn't it? Because there's not really been a change in behind the scenes stuff with any of these at all. It's just suddenly some things are working, suddenly some things are not. I suppose, we're in a anniversary year as well, aren't we?
Yeah, we've got Once and Future going on.
Yeah, that sort of ups the excitement of certain things and allows Big Finish to get away with certain things, I guess, like you wouldn't be able to in other years, like different combinations and such. Whereas last year, the only real celebration going on was for the 5th Doctor, and so he had a very special set of box sets there celebrating 40 years called 40, funnily enough. Whereas here we don't have that same comparative within the Classic Doctors bundle.
Yeah.
But obviously you got Once and Future as this huge event.
That's the flagship
different scale. Yeah.
Thing this year. Which I think still early to judge,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to see our thoughts on that so far, we've got into more depth in 2 different streams, actually. We've done one for Past Lives, one for us, so I'm sure we'll continue doing streams for them as they go on. And we'll be talking about the latest Once and Future news later on as well after we get through our top 5. But I mean, any more thoughts on 2023 so far?
It's been all right, isn't it? It's been all right. There's been some exciting things, some surprising stuff, but overall pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, here's the question: is the mailing out of Big Finish physical products got better or worse this year?
I would say it's probably got worse.
It's strange, isn't it? Because some things are arriving straight away, and others we're like a month out and still not heard anything.
Yeah, I think I think it was around August when things started to get a bit dicey. Because it turned out like all the August stuff come with the September Big Finish all at once. So it was like a load of Big Finish dropping through. Whereas it's kind of quite spaced out, really. Like the Lost Stories, they've arrived very quickly. Ninth Doctor was pretty quick. I would only say since May, I'd say there's been sort of a drop off where there's been sort of big, long periods of time where stuff hasn't arrived.
I don't know, but New Frontiers, that took a good while.
Yeah.
That came out like right at the start of March, didn't arrive until towards the end.
But I'm just sort of thinking like River, 11th Doctor, they arrived pretty much like 2 days after. Like really, really quick. And same with Dalek's Genesis of Terror.
I mean, I suppose it seems to be all the ones that I get physical then that just...
Yeah.
Because you go all physical apart from short trips and audio novels because there's not much choice there.
Yeah, we have no choice. That's what we have to get.
Whereas I'm a bit more pick and choose. I get the Classic Doctors bundle now and Ninth Doctor, and that's about it really. Depends what other things come along. Oh, Once a Future, of course.
Yeah. You get like the special releases.
Yeah. But yeah, certainly it's been a while since I've had a delivery. And even with my most recent one, the Once a Future, that's had a bit of a mess up with it, hasn't it? Which they are sorting out, the embossed cover and numbering and such. So
and I think people need to be a bit easier on Big Finish with like CD productions, because I think if enough people bombard them, be like, well, it's just not viable to do CDs anymore, and that will cause hoo-ha among a lot of people. So I think it will arrive when it arrives, and I think there are ways of listening to it. There's an app which is amazing, and if you don't have it, get it, because it's free and it has all your Big Finish in it. It's wonderful. Not sponsored. We are not sponsored by Big Finish, but just get it. It's great.
If you want to sponsor us, though, Big Finish, please drop us a line. We'll
happily
more gift cards.
Yes, we will, and many positive reviews, because we're positive about Big Finish,
most of the time.
But yeah, I think fair criticism. We're never out going, oh God, what have they done this time? It's more of okay.
Hopefully, we're never vicious in it.
Yeah,
firm but fair, I suppose.
I mean, we like Dalek's Genesis of Terror, so we're in a minority there,
Oh, Daniel Hager is a 7th Doctor fan now as well. Okay. Another update here.
Regenerating.
I cannot wait to hear Last Day. I'm going to pre-order as soon as I'm going to give Sylvester McCoy a second chance.
Okay.
Pre-order soon as I'm going to give Sylvester McCoy a second chance. Sorry, I misread that there, Daniel. Well, we'll get into what's coming up sooner or later. Whovian Small Collection says Purity Undreamed hasn't come yet, and it's very sad. I need it. Yeah, my Purity Undreamed. Oh no, Purity Unleashed. Sorry, I'm trying to remember which one's which. This one. It's Undreamed, Unleashed, then Unbound. Yeah. My Unleashed hasn't been dispatched yet, but
it hasn't been unleashed
on
yet.
Shelf for a while. Okay. Whovian Invisible Collection has also started their list of birthday treats. So, Storm Warning, Sword of Orion, Stones of Venice, Louis Garou. Is it Garou?
Loops Garou, I think.
Loops Garou. I always getting confused with Louis Theroux.
Yeah.
Dust Breeding, Bloodtide, Project Twilight, Eye of the Scorpion, Colditz, Primeval, One Doctor, Chimes of Midnight, Ish, Rapture, Sandman, Church and the Crown, Bang Bang a Boom, Harvest, Juggernauts, Unregenerate, Thicker Than Water, Something Inside, signed by India Fisher, Gathering, Year of the Pig, Sarah Jane Smith, Test of Nerve, Ghost Town, Mirror Signal Maneuver, Cybermen, Thea, Conversion, and Jacob and Lightfoot, Voyage to Venus. That's what I got from that huge birthday bundle car boot find thing.
That's a gold mine of many brilliant stories which you've listened to, and you know they're amazing.
Cool. Hope you've enjoyed sorting through all those, getting them on your shelf.
That's the thing. These are great, but when we're going to put all these?
Yeah, it's just nice having them tactile, isn't it?
Yeah.
Seeing them all lined up,
and it makes you go, "That's what I spent my money on."
Also, one says, "I've got something which ties into tonight's stream. Do share tonight."
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Shall we dive into our top fives now?
Yeah, let's do it. Top 5 time.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
I'll let you go. I'll be the gentleman. Okay. Take it away, because I don't know, and I'm actually really excited about this.
There we go. I'm sharing the number 5 spot now.
Oh, brilliant!
All of Time and Space has made its way on here. Is it on your one?
It is on my list. It is on my list.
We'll see where that comes. Do we want to talk about it now, or should we save it for when it pops up on yours?
Should we save it?
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
But yeah, All of Time and Space is my 5th place pick for my top 5. I got it back in I think it was April I got it in the end. I just finished Geronimo, thought this is brilliant. I'll dive into All of Time and Space now.
After I tested you.
Yeah, you knew I was tempted for a good while, didn't you? It was just finally pushing me over the edge to pick those two up. But yeah, I'm on the 11th Doctor and Valerie hype train now, and we shall talk about that shortly. But yeah, let's leave that there and see what you've got for your number 5.
My number 5 is this. Can you see?
Oh, yes, I can.
The Demon Song. Is that on your list?
It is not.
Oh, so I can talk about
this. You can share all about how it's made onto your list.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stephen.
I will represent First Doctor here. But yeah, I was a big fan of the Outlaws last year. We both were a big fan of Outlaws last year. You know, we're big fans of this range, and we said the Outlaws was proof of concept, and I think that this is where we run with said concept. And the main reason this box set's on the list is because the Demon Song is just marvelous. I had a great time hearing the First Doctor and Dodo in a post-pandemic Britain, and I think, you know, it's a great sort of putting the First Doctor in a contemporary setting and letting him run with it. I think that's the exciting thing.
Well. It does treat it the way the 60s treats any other like sci-fi setting that the First Doctor lands up in, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like that curiosity, that explaining of different things. But transferring that to our world sort of adds a comedic side to that, doesn't it? But at the same time, not to the extent of parody at all. It's just a nice little chuckle, and it's just rather heartwarming as well.
Especially just the First Doctor and Dodo navigating the tube, and you know, the First Doctor using the ring to get out of the barriers, and it's just stuff like that. Yeah. It's wonderful. I think performance-wise, Stephen Noonan and Lauren Cornelius, it's effortless now. Whereas you can see that there's an element of trying to perfect it, get it right, because there's a lot of weight on the Outlaws because it's the first one. You don't know how it's going to go down. Whereas because the Outlaws were so well received, I guess they had a bit more of a spring in their step, and you can see that there's more of a relaxed nature to it, and it doesn't feel as forced. Not that it was forced in the Outlaws, but you can see there's more of a we can breeze through this,
as
it were. And I think it's a wonderfully gothic story. It's a First Doctor sort of whispers of terror. It utilizes sound and audio to its advantage, and especially the latter half of the story, it feels very Hinchcliffe-y.
A great debut for Bob Ayres, isn't it? I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with the second Doctor next month.
I'm very excited for that, and shout out to Lauren Cornelius, because she is probably the unsung hero of this story. I think that this is the best Dodo story ever. For her character, and Lauren Cornelius has given a tremendous performance, and I think the interesting incident is a nice sort of talking point of sort of post-war Britain, and nice little callback to the Annihilators. Very very of the time, and has a sort of a Pertwee vibe, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it has a sort of 60s half Quatermass charm to it, I suppose.
Which I will get around to watching at some point. I will get around to
the Quatermass on the Pit Blu-ray just sat by your TV, haven't you?
Yeah, it's there. It's there, but we've got other things to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that is my number 5 for Demon Song.
Yeah, good choice. I suppose. Do you want to take it away with number 4 now? Since I went first for number 5.
I'll load it up actually, because I've not, because I saw you load stuff up. I was like, oh damn!
Oh shit!
Shoot, I've got to be prepared. Give me a second while I find it.
I'll just have a look at what Stylish One had to say in the chat there. So I've been thinking, many people have complained about Big Finish being too complacent these days, which is fair. I've noticed these complaints have been said by many. Then I thought about it, and they're likely right. Big Finish don't experiment as much as they used to, partially due to the BBC and partially due to being complacent. This only made me notice that people who only listen to a modern Big Finish tend to not get as much enjoyment as those who listen to a mixture of new releases and the backlog. That complacency from Big Finish impacts the listeners and those who go back to when Big Finish were more experimental and less complacent, which is even a few years ago now, enjoy Big Finish more. It helps that the listener chooses and picks what they listen to, while people who only listen to new releases have a new comment came along, so that one got shoved up there. While people who only listen to new releases have Big Finish choose and control what they listen to. So I've realized that people should have a balance between listening to new Big Finish releases to avoid FOMO and join the hype, along with listening to the backlog, so that they have some freedom of choice and enjoy how good and less competent Big Finish used to be. And that's why people enjoy it so much. You rekindle your love for Big Finish. It can even bring you out of Big Finish fatigue. So I think a balance between new releases and backlog makes sense for the best experience. I mean, that's something you found a bit over the last year, isn't it? Like when we did our 5th Doctor, Nyssa and Tegan throwback. And you've been diving into some 4th Doctor as well.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of 4th Doctor this year, actually. But yeah, it's interesting going back and just seeing how there is a quality shift. Still amazing stuff from the past, but I think it is nice to sort of take a break, put the new stuff on hold, and if you're in a mood for a certain story, listen to it. And this is the joy of doing these. Oh, go on.
Sometimes releases do come out and you're just not quite in the mood for that specific Doctor or that style of story.
Yeah.
So I think there's no shame in waiting until you are more in the mood to listen.
And you'll probably get more out of it by being ready for it. But yeah, doing the 5th Doctor stream, which we already knew we loved those stories. But it's just like, God, they are some of the best Big Finish. And I think, but it's nice to have these throwbacks, and I think this is the joy of doing these streams, is that we have a chance maybe once a month to go, I fancy giving that a listen. Should we do that? Let's listen to it. And, we can have like a bit of a book club for it.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to what we were saying while we were doing our thoughts on 2023 as well, in that this year has been more consistent but less standouts. And so when you mix in those throwbacks, you get some standouts like that, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
Stylish Run says, "Thank you for letting me share that. I know it's very long. No worries, Stylish Run.
No, I agree.
Seeing what people have to say.
Yeah, because we all have sort of different jumping on points for Big Finish. Nobody watching me and you have very different jumping on points for Big Finish, and that's the joy. But we all have this share community of Big Finish and love.
Very much so. I mean, it's very much what Stephen says about Doctor Who as a whole, isn't it? The way people come at it from different ages, different perspectives, all different jumping on points. And, they have varying different opinions about all these different eras. Some people love Graham Williams. Some people hate that era. But, we all are nevertheless Doctor Who fans, and no one is more or less valid for their opinions on different eras.
Yeah, we're born and bred on the same thing.
The same applies to Big Finish. No cold blood here.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, Stylish One.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Are you ready with your number 4 now?
I am. Rather fittingly, I know this one isn't on your list.
Oh, okay.
It is Ice Heist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not quite on my list.
Is it honorable mention?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, go for
it. This, I would say, was the story. Speaking of Big Finish fatigue, this got me out of Big Finish fatigue, I would say. It got me back in
you a little bit.
Yeah. Like, it got me into new Big Finish. I was like, yeah, this is what I've been waiting for, really, with it all. And I think that it's a story what I've wanted for a long time. I've wanted Fourth Doctor and Ice Warriors, and I think that part 1 is probably where it's at its weakest. And I think once it progresses, it just gets better and better. I think Tom arguably gives one of his best Big Finish performances. It's very true to the era, and I think that's why I like it, especially when you get them sort of exploring underneath, trying to access like the big vault thing. In like the spacesuits. You're like, oh yeah, this feels very Tom. How he can just snap. There's a sort of a ferocity to Tom in this, which I really like.
Yeah, it sort of feels almost Seeds of Doom Tom, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think because we don't get that Tom very often, this is why it's a particular highlight for me. And just having Ice Warriors, it's great. They're one of my favorite monsters, and I think that it's a cool one. But I think the story, it sort of feels a bit Graham Williams sort of Key to Time-esque with like the actual inhabitants of this planet. They feel very much like they belong on like the Rybot inheritance or something like that. I can picture it being sort of around that sort of time period, really.
I can see that. Yeah, this season as a whole feels more Philip Hinchcliffe inspired, I'd say.
Yeah,
but I think Ice Heist certainly is the one that leans most into the Williams era, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think that is a fair pick for your number 4 spot.
Yeah, there you go.
You ready for mine then?
I'm ready for yours.
I'm curious as to whether or not this one's going to be on yours, but here we go. It is Far From Home, the recent 7th Doctor release. I mean, only just clinching it on here, really, because it came out Tuesday. Is it on yours, by the way? Just before I go any further.
No, it's an honorable mention.
Okay. Am I okay to plow on with this one then?
Yeah.
Because this certainly was one I was keeping my eye on. I was thinking, fingers crossed, this one comes along and manages to break the trends this year, I suppose, of okay, but not quite great releases yet. And I was very much looking forward to Operation Dusk from this set, the Vashta Nerada in World War II. And it was good. But Naomi's arc was the one that really blew me away with this. And, because of how good that was, because I kept carrying on with that story when I probably should have been going to sleep last night, was what it was able to get this on this top 5, really, because usually I'd have, packed it in after one episode and gone, I'll carry on with that another time. But no, I plowed through because Naomi's arc was really engaging to me. There's a nice 60s quality to it.
Is it early adventure-esque then?
Yeah, it does have that feel to it in a way. With this galactic scale, these very long-lived group of, the species as a whole, the fact that they're outrunning this huge galactic disaster as stars are going supernova around them. It is very exciting stuff. Great story for Naomi, as you could probably guess from the title. This is the story that really made me start to like Naomi, because I think she's sort of been treated unfairly in that we've not heard her first series of the Fourth Doctor yet. We're finally getting that next year. But the fact that that was all written and recorded first, like long ago, but then they put her and Harry into Unit Nemesis, and then here with the Seventh Doctor, first with Sullivan and Cross, and now this box set, you sort of like, you get to know her, but you're picking up things up as you go along. You've not had that first interaction with her and the Doctor yet, or her and Harry. Whether or not they know each other before at the start of Fourth Doctor, we are yet to really find out. But yeah, certainly this is one where she really clicked with me, and I really started to engage fully with her character and with this TARDIS team as a whole. I enjoyed Sullivan and Cross AWOL, but I wasn't quite sold on this team yet. I was more just thinking, okay, this is fun in the meantime while I wait to get them with the Fourth Doctor. Now I'm really starting to enjoy this trio and hope we have at least a few more box sets to come with them, because it's great stuff here. You got Naomi paired up with a group of what are essentially children in space, but they're not the annoying boy genius type in a way. Okay. They're smart children, make no mistake, but they aren't annoying at all. It's a very engaging dynamic. I mean, comparison for you, one of them, Fixer, is very much like Tech from the Bad Batch. There's an endearing quality to them. And yeah, I love the interactions she has with those characters. I love how alien they all feel at times as well. I think the Seventh Doctor is pushed to some interesting places in this one. And yeah, it all just comes together very well in Naomi's arc. And Operation Dusk, there's some stuff there for early Big Finish listeners. There's a lot of fun to be had in the horror of the Vashta Nerada and the interesting way in which they're implemented into this story. It's rather different.
Part 2's cliffhanger in particular was a highlight.
Yeah. How far have you got through the... Did you finish it? You did finish it, didn't you?
I've done Operation Dusk.
Oh, okay.
I've done that one. Hence why it didn't make the list.
But you enjoyed Operation Dusk.
Hence why it's an honourable mention for me.
Well, yeah, we'll get to those after we've reached number 2, just to tease people a little bit longer with number 1.
Yeah.
Stylish one saying, Luke liking the Seventh Doctor now. That's amazing. I mean, yeah, I sort of teased this earlier when I said, this year has made me engage with, well, I thought that there were some clunkers for Doctors I usually like, and then other Doctors, which I've sort of been so-so on, have come out strong. This is an example of that with the Seventh Doctor. This is definitely my favourite of the 3 relaunch set he's had so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes in The Last Day and also in further adventures with Naomi and Harry. But yeah, Operation Dusk and Naomi's arc are great stuff. And I love the title Far From Home as well. I mean, people were swinging in with the Spider-Man jokes, weren't they?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. There we go.
But yeah, it's nice that it's applicable not just to Naomi and Harry. It's also thematic throughout this box set with different peoples and aliens who are themselves far from home. So yeah, it all comes together very nicely, and I think it's nice having some Seventh Doctor three-parters as well.
Which is his era, isn't it? Three-parters.
Yeah, they're not too chunky, but they're not too over too quickly either. I think they don't overstay their welcome. They reach the right amount. And especially after where things started with the three-parters, with the fifth Doctor, or at least started in the relaunch, we did have three-parters a while back. But conflicts of interest, spoiler alert, it's not ended up on my list. That is one of the examples of a Doctor that I love getting a box set that I've soured on a bit. But yeah, three-parters there didn't quite work for me for whatever reason. Three-parters here, brilliant stuff. It all comes together very nicely. So yeah, that is my choice for 4th place. Shall I dive into 3rd place as well?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Number 3. Okay. What is your number 3?
3 is the Dead Star.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, another sort of galactic scale existential dreads kind of story here. So maybe there's a bit of a theme there with what I'm into. I mean, yeah, I'm fascinated by all that. But yeah, The Dead Star, an audio novel by Kate Orman, read by Michael Troughton. I think you've yet to dive into this one, haven't you?
Yeah, this is a July listen.
Yeah, it's one I've been pestering you about, isn't it? It's like,
yeah,
you'll love it. We love our audio novels here. We love our long form storytelling, and this plays into that wonderfully. It's very 60s for those first 3 episodes, like literally in the swinging 60s, engaging with that. You've got Ben and Polly very much in their element, really. You've got loads of weird scientific stuff going on that just bends your brain a bit, but all feels plausible at the same time. I think it's a well-researched piece here from Kate Orman. And yeah, it's just the scale of the story, the existential dread of these black holes being out there in the galaxy. The fact that one could plausibly come along and swallow up. It's all just a game of chance, really. Swallow up the whole world in a matter of seconds before we even know it. I think it makes for a truly interesting story here. The idea that a group of people know it's coming, but are hiding that for some reason, while the Doctor's trying to convince them, no, you've got to stop this if we can. We've got to find a way. We've got to investigate. But no, he's got them working against him instead. It's truly fascinating stuff. Black holes and the second Doctor, Big Finish audio seem to be a good combination, says Stylish One. It seems that
Is it better than the Black Hole?
I would say it is.
Oh. Luke praising a second Doctor release, yet he's his favourite Doctor. Well.
There we go. It's
a first. Second Doctor audio on a list, and Seventh Doctor. Luke's a changed man in 2023.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, we'll see if the rest of the list keeps this theme or not of a changed man.
yeah.
But yeah, Dead Star, brilliant stuff. Can't recommend that one enough. And it's just a different pace of listening, isn't it? Audiobook versus audio drama. There's just something nice about sitting back and you sort of take your time with it. You dip in and out. It's not too demanding a listen. I think that was one of the things with Operation Dusk that held it back, is that there's a lot of twists and turns within that, a lot of characters to keep track of. And so while I was very much enjoying what it was doing, it was asking quite a bit of me, which is fair enough for some audios to do.
In it.
Yeah. Whereas with this, it's just an easier listen, and that's why it's made it into 3rd place. So yeah, just great stuff all around.
It's a nice sort of change of pace, isn't it? I would say it's good to listen to at least one a year.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, for us, we've sort of, well, for me at least, the only real interaction I have with audiobooks before this was short trips, really, which sort of hit and miss. But I think there's something wonderful about the longer format that these provides. I mean, very much like a novel does, really.
Yeah,
it's a world you can get lost in unto itself. It really pulls you in. You know, they say you can lose yourself in a good book. You can lose yourself in a good audio novel from Big Finish, most definitely. I mean, the sound design, it's all impeccable stuff. It's up to their usual high standard, really. And Michael Troughton does a great job as an engaging reader, really. He's obviously doing his brilliant second Doctor, as he does in Full Cast. With Ben and Polly, he gives them distinctive voices. He's not trying to force an impression. Like, he's not going to sound like a Annika Wills did in her 20s by any means.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's a nice little Cockney flourish to Ben and a nice soft-spoken nature to his Polly. So, you know, you can tell who's speaking. He gives them distinct voices. And he does it for the other characters as well. So, yeah, that's number 3 for me. How about you, Ben?
My number 3 is, I've probably seen it. It's 11th Doctor.
Here we go. Now we can talk about it.
Yeah. I wanted to put this higher on my list because I think that it's a series that everyone should check out. And I think that Geronimo is a brilliant box set, but I think I prefer this set, I think, over the two what have come so far, just because I think the Yearn is the weakest, but I think the quality of the first and second story is just where it's at, and I think it's, again, much like the Companion Chronicles, the Chronicle range, it's a hidden gem, and it's lovely to see people are experiencing this, because this is Big Finish putting their own spin on the 11th Doctor, and I think that this box set, it just encapsulates the Matt Smith era. You know, the first story in particular feels very Moffat-y.
It's all very experimental, this box set, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's why it's a bit, because it reminds me of a bygone age of Big Finish.
Yeah, I mean, they go to some weird places in All of Time and Space, the first story in All of Time and Space. And then you've also got Curiosity Shop by James Goss, which is very curious, I suppose.
Yeah.
You're listening to it wondering, what is going on here? Where is this going? But not in a bad way, not in a, oh, can this hurry up and get to the point?
It's a very fan service.
Yeah.
It's there to please fans.
And fun along the way. It feels right for something that would have come out in the 50th anniversary year, because this is sort of when this is taking place between the Snowmen and Bells of St. John. So it's 50th anniversary, Matt Smith.
And I think that it captures the magic of Doctor Who. It has that fairy tale feel to it, the Curiosity Shop. It feels sort of very Time of the Doctor in a way. I get that sort of feeling from it. And it's just beautiful, you know.
A free-hander as well. It's just the two leads and Derek Griffiths, but spins along wonderfully. The Yearn has some great moments between Valerie and Roanna. There's some brilliant chemistry there. They're definitely two characters that I really like, and I'm looking forward to seeing where things go when she comes back in the next box set. The story they're in as a whole, it's just fine. And that's what sort of held it back from going higher on my list, really. And also the fact that I listened to Geronimo just before this, I was sort of wondering, okay, how much of my enjoyment of Geronimo is then leaning into this? Because it is one long series, really.
I think that's why it stands out, isn't it? Because it's the only big series Big Finish are doing right now, with exception to the 6th Doctor, which doesn't really feel like a series like this does. This feels like it was constructed as a big series, you know, over these 4 box sets.
Yeah. I think it helps having that clear distinction as well, that, you know, this is 4 box sets, is 13 episodes, and then that's it, it's all wrapped up. Whereas with the 6th Doctor, we've sort of like been going along wondering, okay, how much of this are we getting? So like, you know, is the next box set the last, or are we just at the very beginning of a long journey with these characters? So yeah, I mean, maybe that'll help 6th Doctor on re-listen, but certainly I think it helps with this, because we know we've got time in this box set to take a break from the arc and instead focus on these characters a bit more, who are already very well defined from the first box set. Valerie is an
best companion for 11.
Yeah, she is wonderful, isn't she?
Yeah, best companion.
So I think it didn't quite go higher on my list because I did enjoy the others on there a lot better. The Yearn sort of dragged it down a bit. I think I do prefer Geronimo just about. I think that's more consistent across the boards. But yeah, I don't know. All in Time, Space, and Curiosity Shop might be the strongest of this series so far. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to where things go in Everywhere and Anywhere, the next box set.
Yeah, that's. I'm sure we'll talk about what releases we're looking forward to once we finish the top 5. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where this series goes.
11th Doctor proving that Big Finish are the best when they do arcs, makes box sets and series engaging with lots of momentum and hype. Also allows for interesting stories. Big Finish arcs are great. Are usually surprised by how great it is, says Stylish One. Thank you, Stylish One. Hoover's Ball Collection has also joked, wouldn't it be funny if Luke and Ben did a Lady Christina marathon in the lead up to Two's Company?
Well, we said July's a quiet month.
No.
Okay.
We're not going there. Do not get their hopes up.
Well,
with our £10 gift voucher.
Yes.
We don't even know we've definitely got it. So
yeah.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
But there's a good chance.
I'm so hyped for the 11th Doctor stuff, said Hoover in a small collection. You should be.
Where are you at? Let us know.
Yeah, what's in the latest? I think, was it Waterworlds who just made it to when we last streamed? But anyway, what's your number 2?
Well, this is me.
I think so. Yeah, if we're doing...
Okay.
Taking it in turns going first. Yeah, it's
right.
First.
I will load it up.
Okay.
I think there might be crossover with this.
Oh, okay.
With this one, I feel. I feel like I'm cheating with this.
Okay. Let's see.
But it is. If I can load it up, I've picked Stone Cold.
Oh, okay. There's kind of a bit of crossover with this. Do you want to... Where is... There we go.
There we go.
Angels and Demons for me. I've gone for the whole box set, the whole shebang.
Okay. See, I skipped Friendly Invasion just so I could, because when we spoke about it on Sunday, I was like, I want to listen to Stone Cold before we do this.
So you've just done Wizard of Time and Stone Cold so far, I think.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, definitely go back to Friendly Invasion first.
Okay.
Before Ghost of Margaret, that's important.
Right.
Yeah, so do you want to talk specifically about Stone Cold then?
Yeah.
And then I'll go into the box set as a whole.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, Stone Cold for me, it was the one I was least looking forward to. So maybe this is why it's surprised me. Because when I thought about a 4th Doctor Weeping Angel story, you expect like Graveyard, big manor house, proper gothic horror. Yeah. But this is a very different Hinchcliffe Weeping Angel story.
It's still Hinchcliffe, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels very sort of Robots of Death, I would say. Which is a great sort of feeling for it. And I would probably say the best Weeping Angel story Big Finish have done. I think that there's just something. I think this is the best one what I've listened to where it explores Margaret and Leela, because they get some great moments towards the end of the story.
Yeah, like the vine pit scene.
Yeah, which is lovely. And I think Tom, again, there's a difference to Tom. There's sort of, I don't want to say a vulnerability, but there's a scared nature to Tom within this, because he doesn't know if he can deal with this. And
it's a very hopeless situation the characters end up in, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it sells the threat of the Weeping Angels very well.
And how they're used within it is great with like the volcanic planet and the mist, and just how it uses all the Weeping Angel hallmarks. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it reminds you of why the Weeping Angels are one of the breakout monsters of the new series, and it's just brilliant having them paired with the Fourth Doctor, really, who, you know, they're just a match made in heaven, really, those two.
I think when they were with the Fifth Doctor in Fallen Angels, it very much felt like, okay, we've got the Fifth Doctor in a New Who style story. It was, you know, 1 hour long. He had two surrogate companions who are making out all the time. So, you know, with that, you've got a very different style of classic Who. But with this, it's not the Fourth Doctor entering New Who territory. It's the Weeping Angels coming back to classic Who, isn't it? They feel right for this era. They feel like classic Who monsters, the way they are handled in this by Roland Moore. It just, and I think there's a nice comfy quality to that, isn't there? Even though it is quite an unnerving and creepy story, the way it uses them.
It's one for bedtime, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, there's something quite nice about that novelty of having the Weeping Angels in a classic Doctor Who story. And so I really appreciate it for that it's not going at them trying to do something crazy, trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just saying, okay, we've got this great concept for a monster. Let's go for a classic Doctor Who 4-parter with them and see how that plays out. And it just plays out wonderfully.
It's like the Matt Smith 2-part. I think it's the closest to it. And this was done before
Village of Angels. Crash spaceships.
And it still fits the Weeping Angel mythology brilliantly.
Yeah. I mean, they work on audio very well.
Yeah, surprisingly, I think that there's this nice sort of soundscape for them within this one, which just adds to the sort of haunting nature to them.
Yeah. Okay, especially the way characters are able to describe them as well, because you'll often you've got communicators as characters are going off on their own exploring. And so from that, it works perfectly that you've got a character saying what they're seeing, but it doesn't feel like the typical audio.
Exposition.
Yeah, that's very much it. And I mean, the Weeping Angels themselves aren't really in the first 2 parts, are they? They're very much keeping to the background, keeping to the shadows, building up the suspense.
It's very sort of classic Who, isn't it? Like Hinchcliffe, where you would get a bit of the monster, bam, there's your monster.
Yeah. I mean, quite literally a bit of the monster at one point where it's just a hand lying there.
Yeah.
Well, hello, Tom Garb. Thank you for joining
us.
Hello. Well, I'd say the McCoy box set is better than the 2 last year. Agreed, Tom. Agreed. Yeah, that was my number 4 pick for this. But so Stone Cold, brilliant stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say one of the best Fourth Doctor releases in the range. And I mean, this is a segue for you. Series 12, possibly the best Fourth Doctor series? ?
Easily the most consistent, I'd say. I'm not sure whether it's quite the number 1, but it's definitely in the top 3 or even 2, because it doesn't have a single duds. I've listened all the way from Ice Heist to The Ghost of Margaret, and while I think the first box set, New Frontiers, was a great start, I love Antilles the Lost and the Ice Heist as well, but none of them were standouts. I think this box set, Angels and Demons, has standouts in it, while also, again, not having a dud. We've kind of got used to the Fourth Doctor being mid as box sets, haven't we?
You're expecting sort of the one dud in the box set. It's 50-50 with Tom.
Yeah, when you got your 2 4-parters, like last year with Solo, you had Ravencliff Witch and Blood of the Time Lords. Blood of the Time Lords, take it or leave it. Ravencliff Witch, brilliant stuff. More of that. And so, I was sort of cheating a bit last year, like you have this year, in that I was putting the individual stories, because they are available as separate downloads. So, they count as a release in themselves as well as part of the box sets. But here, it was so satisfying with Angels and Demons to have a full box set, especially one with 10 episodes worth of story here, to be able to take it and say, this is my second favorite thing Big Finish have come out with this year. And, it's a wonderful win for the Fourth Doctor Adventures. Margaret is great. It's great for it to be a Leela series as well, because those are all, to us, seem like the most mid, like series 4, 7, and 10. I sort of just take it and leave it, really. Here, Leela is brilliant alongside Margaret. She brings out a new side to her, brings out a different side to the Doctor as well, in that there's a more caring nature to him, I suppose. He's always wonderful with his companions, but here he's got someone who maybe isn't quite as suited for traveling with him. She's always throwing herself in there. She's doing her bit. She's never a coward or anything like that. But at the same time, but at the same time, she's questioning whether or not she's built for this life of danger and death all the time, being surrounded by it. And, I think that serves as a nice contrast to how alien the Fourth Doctor is, and Leela as well, to an extent, really. And, how they are very much made for this style of living, whereas maybe not everyone is. But also as a way to say there's no shame in that. And Tim Foley's brilliant The Ghost of Margaret very much is about how it's okay to not be okay as a story. And as a person, but the story is about that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's okay for a story not to be okay. That's not what it's about. But it's a wonderful exploration of Margaret. And honestly, this box set a couple of times is quite heartbreaking, really. The end of the friendly invasion is rather gut-wrenching. It's been a mostly fun adventure with some darker moments, but then it springs that ending on you. And it's a wonderful tribute to the soldiers who did go off to fight in the Second World War, or any war, as a matter of fact. And then you come to The Ghost of Margaret as well, which is a rather harrowing goodbye, really.
Which you can only get in this set.
But it's only
available.
If you want that one, you've got to pick up Angels and Demons as a Whole, which is definitely worth it, because at the moment it's only $24.99. People like to say Big Finish is getting expensive. Maybe it is, but this one is one that comparatively is fairly cheap. Like, it's the same amount of content as Philip Hinchcliffe Presents was back in 2014. And yet it's less than half the price somehow. I don't know how that works out, but Big Finish have decided to practically give this one away. So snatch it up while it is on the pre-order price, because it is brilliant stuff. We haven't even said much about Wizard of Time yet. That's a wonderful little start to this box set. A great tribute one. It's the least classic Who of this series, but that's also fine, because it's Big Finish. They're meant to take these characters and do more with them than they could do on TV, and so it gets to take them and throw them into a kind of children's literature of the 20th century style, aren't they? And it's a wonderful tribute to that, wonderful tribute to stories themselves. And allows for Tom Baker to do some interesting things in times as well.
Yeah, it does.
Very much enjoyed that one. It's a set that gets better and better as it goes along, I'd say. Wizard of Time, solid start. Friendly Invasion. Now we're talking Stone Cold, Sign Me Up, Ghost of Margaret, Break My Heart.
Okay. There we go.
All of it is brilliant stuff. Ooh. I haven't enjoyed a Fourth Doctor box set this much ever, maybe. I don't know. It's a wonderful experience listening to this.
How does it compare to the Ann Kelso stuff? Like the second box set of Syndicate Master Plan? Because that was some top tier stuff.
I'd say this beats it, really, because I think the Ann Kelso stuff did have that James Bond...
Fever Island.
Fever Island, yeah. And I think it was that arc got off to a bit of a weaker start with Sinestron Kill. I wasn't particularly a fan of that one. But I'd say this one comes together better, I suppose, because it's more of a character arc, really, for Margaret as she goes through the set, rather than an overall grand conspiracy story, which is wonderful and works very well in the Syndicate Master Plan. They're two very different styles of series, really. But yeah, I think I will take Angels and Demons over Syndicate Master Plan Volume 1 or 2, even though that does have some bangers in. And yeah, definitely worth your time as well. But yeah, I think also definitely worth going through New Frontiers first before this, because it does work very well as an overall series, and they pair together nicely. Maybe throw in Ravencliff Witch as well, just so you have that pre-context of Margaret. But yeah, all wonderful stuff, really. And yeah, Ben, remember, listen to From the Invasion first, then go to Margaret.
I will do.
You need that one to be last. Yeah. So, shall we take a look at some honourable mentions now?
Yeah, let's do that.
You two definitely seem to be the biggest fans of this Fourth Doctor series, there, Stylish One. It's a shame to hear that. Maybe is it not getting as much love then as we're giving it? I think I've seen some positivity towards it.
Yeah, I saw Stone Cold get a 10 out of 10, so I'm like, well, wow, that's done very well. Yeah, I mean, I think the Fourth Doctor Orders, it's an interesting ride, and there are some real good stories in there, and I think we've got plans for Fourth Doctor, haven't we? Soon.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that when we do that.
Yeah, when you've finished listening to them as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm savouring it because I'm enjoying it.
That's fair enough. Yeah. Starch Runner said, that's a hot take, Ben. The first Fourth Doctor set this year wasn't very popular and seemed to get very mixed reviews.
Oh, we enjoyed it. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, for me, there was no strong standout like Shell Shock or the Ghost, the Ravencliff Wish story in there with New Frontiers. But at the same time, it wasn't, there wasn't a strong dud in there either. It was just consistent. And yeah, Series 12, definitely the most consistent series for me. Like, even in my favorites of the previous series, there's always been at least one dud squeezed in there somewhere. I don't think there's a single dud in Series 12.
I think that's probably why we quite like New Frontiers. We're like, all right, we found a Fourth Doctor set where there are no duds.
There's a palate cleanser in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, this set has also gotten very mixed reviews, says Starch One. It seems Series 11 was more popular in terms of general consensus on review websites and social media. That is surprising.
Okay.
Whovian, a small collection. They are with us on Auton Infinity, by the way.
Yes.
Banger.
That's a blooming great one.
To be fair, Shell Shock last year seemed to be one of the less popular Fourth Doctor audios, so hot takes for the Fourth Doctor Adventures and you two go together. Wow.
Well, okay.
That was definitely on our top 5 this time last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, Shell Shock was mine, I think. Did you have Shell Shock on yours?
I think I definitely had it lower than Ravencliff Witch. I don't know whether it was an honourable mention or like 4th place, maybe.
Yeah, I really love Shell Shock. It's one of my favourites.
Yeah, I think it's a good one. Open the Watch says, I thought both Ice Heist and Antilia was some of the best stories I've had so far this year so far. Little sad to hear that not many feel the same.
No, I agree with that.
But okay, people are entitled to their opinions, even if they're wrong.
Yeah, because I have to say, it's probably the year of Tom, I would say, at the minute.
Yeah. I mean, with the amount he's had coming out, you'd sort of hope it would be.
Yeah. And like Colin last year, where poor Colin, had a
we
bit
just got a bit tired of him.
Yeah.
No Colin at number 1 spot on this one.
Yeah. No Colin.
Yeah. What are your honourable mentions then?
I've only got the one, which is Operation Dusk.
Okay. Do you want to go a bit more into that? Because I went quite hard on Naomi's arc.
Yeah.
Forward to.
I think there's something about the Seventh Doctor in World War II. what just fits incredibly well, and I think that the story, it has a sci-fi edge to it, but I think that it really captures, like, it does something new with the Vashta Nerada and how it utilizes them as, I don't, it's hard to, because I don't really want to spoil it because of what they are within it in the story, because it's got so many sort of plot twists with it, like with is the cat behind it. And I think that it really utilizes Harry very well in part one when he's sort of examining the remains of somebody.
Oh, and that's true. Getting to do a bit of pathology.
Yeah, very Lightfoot in a way. But I think when the story really comes into play, sort of part two's cliffhanger, like that's really utilizing the blackout and a creature that lives in shadows. It's brilliant. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think that's why I think that it's an honorable mention. I think if I'd listened to Naomi's arc, it could possibly be on the top 5, but because I hadn't finished it and it's not available separately, it would,
yeah,
would be on the list.
Understandable. Yeah. Who from Sport Collection says Ben and Luke's #1 Daleks Genesis of Terror reveal.
I mean, we don't hate it, so you might be right, you know.
Well, I think. Oh, have I still been? I've been sharing for a while, but that's not actually.
Oh, yeah, it's all
right. Anyway, on to my honorable mentions. Here they are.
Oh, you've got a slideshow.
Yeah, I mean, New Frontiers. Here it is. I've already pretty much said all I need to say about this one, but yeah, just a great little stuff. I love how the 2 box sets as well go together cover-wise. Like, you know, the symmetry there. But yeah, New Frontiers. If you've been tuning in for a while now, you'll have heard all me and Ben have to say on this one. Great stuff. Shame it seems to be underrated. No huge standout, but just 2 really solid, fun stories. Yeah. And my other honorable mention is The Robots Volume 6. I feel these 2 honorable mentions and my 3rd and 4th spots were very neck and neck, really. It was hard to choose between them. I think The Robots would have made it onto this list had it not been for 7th Doctor coming along at the last minute and, you know, pulling it back with his umbrella.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just quite moving, really, to see this series come to an end that I followed for the last 3 years, just about. Because it started at the end of 2019, but I didn't dive into it until someone in lockdown, really. I think around June, just before the 2nd volume came out. So similar to the 11th Doctor Chronicles, I sort of dived in 2 box sets together, really. But yeah, I've really enjoyed what this series has had to say about the rise of technology, the similarities with our modern world and how that's come into play, and how, you know, scary the development of technologies can sometimes be, how these moral dilemmas come into play with it. And so, yeah, I think it's a worthy end to the series, particularly the middle story in this set, Face to Face, is brilliant stuff. That's when Liv and Chula are sort of basically, they wake up in their apartment and suddenly there's another version of Liv and another version of Chula, and none of them are sure which is real and which is the robot duplicate. And from there, it all plays out in real time, really, as you work out with the characters what on earth is going on here. Why has this happened? Who has done this? And you know, it's a wonderful mystery. It's wonderful how it plays out. It's nice that it's just one continuous scene. It really pulls you in and just makes you listen to it in one go easily. You know, it grabs you and doesn't give you a chance to hop off, really. But in a good way. You don't feel trapped by it, unlike the characters do. So yeah, Face to Face is easily the highlight of this one. The first story is fine. It's sort of typical of what you expect of the robots at this point. And the final story has its moments. I think particularly when the 8th Doctor comes along. Not a spoiler because he's in the trailer. He's in the cast list. You basically just get a follow-up on Escape from Kaldor back in Ravenous 2. It's like an extra bit of Ravenous 2, really, which we loved at the time. So it's nice having that there to really, consolidate the series as a whole and bring it full circle.
That's the thing. If you were to marathon the 8th Doctor box set, would you pause your listening, listen to all the robots, and then carry on with Ravenous?
Yeah.
Could you see yourself ever doing that?
I don't know. Maybe not. I feel like it would be weird with it would sort of interrupt the flow of Ravenous a bit, wouldn't it? Although at the same time, the Ravenous arc itself hasn't really gotten going by that point, so you could maybe get away with it. But yeah, I mean, that's a big commit because that robot series ends up being longer than Ravenous itself, doesn't it? 16 episodes versus 18.
Jeez.
But I think it has sort of hurt this series similar to Stranded in the long gaps between them, though, sadly. Because it's 11 months between volume 4 and 5, and then another 11 months between 5 and 6. I think it certainly feels like it got dragged out a bit much, which was unfair to it. But yeah, now that it's over, I think I can look back at the series and give it a strong thumbs up of approval.
Not a spin-off too far, then?
No, certainly not. I mean, maybe 2 box sets too far in hindsight. I don't know. There's some great stuff in 5 and 6. I'm not too big a fan of 4. I wonder if maybe they could have just rolled it all together somehow. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting one to see how it stands up on re-listen, though. I think that's going to be the true test. Because, with a lot of mysteries going on, you're sort of kept in the dark for a lot of it. So re-listening to it in order is where you get to pick up on more details, more clues that have dropped. And certainly from what I've done so far, I've listened to volumes 1, 2, 3, and have picked up on a lot more details that I wasn't aware of on first listen. So it does feel very well and intricately planned. So I appreciate the effort that's gone into that. So yeah, robots, good stuff overall. And I think that's sort of what's got volume 6 as an honorable mention as well, is that it has the previous 5 volumes going for it also. So shall we reveal our number ones now, or singular number one perhaps?
I mean, I might just throw a little curveball and do a quick honorable mention since you did too.
Go for it. I don't mind.
I mean, I've just plugged this out my arse. 9th Doctor Pioneers.
Not Dalek's Genesis of Terror.
Not Dalek's Genesis of Terror. That's number 1, guys. But yeah, I think because Eccleston's been a bit of Series 2 was a bumpy ride for us, and I think that this box set left us on quite a better taste, I would say. Like a much more consistent. I really enjoy the Northern Light within this. And I think that's probably why it's a quick honorable mention, because I just really enjoyed the sort of the beautiful character drama of it. And yeah, brilliant. And the beautiful game was a real fun little listen, really, with the strike, which is a nice little call to Doctor Who fans. So quick honorable mention there of 9th Doctor Pioneers.
Yeah, I suppose it sort of again keeps up that theme this year of things just being a bit more consistent across the board.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Sam has joined us. Hello.
Hello.
Yo. Stylish One. Another hot take. This Eccleston set has very little hype going in, and all the stories got a lot of mediocre reviews. People wanting more 9 and Rose and Arcs.
Yeah.
I think we can't really deny that. And certainly
we're on there.
We'll get on to our thoughts again as we go into the news, because there was more 9th Doctor news. But first,
yeah.
Number 1 spot.
I wonder what it is. Dalek's Genesis of Terror time, everybody.
Oh, I was actually like, where? Oh no, that's not the button I press. There we go.
That's not my number 1.
Oh no. Well, it's got to be mine.
It is my number one. I'm joking. I'm teasing you. So number one is...
Was it Ever in a Need Out?
Diary of a Song, Friend of the Family.
We did a little a stream on this when it first came out, didn't we? And that was almost impromptu, really. We weren't planning on it, but as we were listening through, it was, my goodness, this is amazing. We're gonna have to talk about this. And so here we are again talking about this. It's come up a few times over the past 6 months because it's just that good. Do you want to take it away?
Yeah. It's so intimate and personal. And by the end of those 4 hours, you wish you had another 4 hours of it because it's just a set. We're, like we've said, we're huge fans of long form storytelling, and this
it's another win for that on my list as well after Red Star.
And the way I think as well, this was a surprising one because Auld Lang Syne is very much this story, but this is Auld Lang Syne fleshed out way more, really. And arguably, it's the best River Song box set that has been released, and it's going to take a lot to beat it.
Yeah, Orphan Quartet has a lot to live up to here. Stylish One asks, do you think this Diary of a River Song set would be a better finale to the range? I mean, hard to say about listening to Orphan Quartet.
Yeah.
And we'll
ask us in August, but it's going to take a lot to beat it because it feels very River.
Yeah, it's wonderful that she has an arc in this as well. We get to really explore like a gap in her character development and, you know, show her going from being quite hot-headed and impetuous and then becoming a more of a long game kind of character, really. Someone who does mature as this set goes on. And it's wonderful as well. Within this, you also have, is it her professorship?
Yeah.
Like that final little gap gets plugged. So it's nice that for this huge 4-part story, it's not just about River Song affecting the world around her. It's also the world around her affecting her. I mean, there's no real monsters in this one as such, anything like that.
It's not
it's not your typical Doctor Who by any means. It's just wonderful character drama with sci-fi twists in there. You've got Mark Elstob doing a brilliant job as Hugo.
Yes,
in this,
they have such great chemistry.
Yeah, they bounce off each other so well, him and River, as he gets to be this. He's this hard light AI thing, isn't he? That's like a professor in his own right as well. And
feels very Moffat-y
of a device. Yeah,
with what happens to him within this, you know, very somewhat Handelsy in a way.
He's got wonderful dry wit as well.
Very sort of Brig humor.
Yeah, and it's nice that you get to start this with them at each other's throats, but they really build a strong bond and friendship. There's wonderful quiet moments throughout this box set. You're jumping around between 4 different time periods. There's a mystery that because it's taking its time to be told, you get to really engage with. You get to theorize what's going on for yourself between listening to episodes. You wonder, how does this all connect?
It's personal, isn't it? Because you're getting snippets of this family's life throughout time, and you feel like you are part of their family as much as River has become.
It's very well planned and intricately told. The fact that it's non-linear in the way you're jumping between different periods in the family's history, and yet, you know, it still can throw twists and turns at you within that. It's all brilliant stuff. The way River interacts with his family. You got a silent character in there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, the son, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's wonderful how much character
she's the nanny, isn't she?
There. Yeah, and I mean, spends quite a bit of time in that time period. So
is it 38 minutes? Or
Sorry?
is that 1938 that one, or is it the 60s?
I think no, it's the 60s, isn't it?
60s, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's 2014. No, I'm going to look these up now. I think it's 1980s as well. That's when he's older.
Yeah.
And then then it's the 60s. And then it's either the 30s or the...
I've got it in my head 38 for some reason.
Yeah, 38, I think that's... I know there's a specific... Well, let's not go into too much detail.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're risking spoiling things there, because this is one to be experienced for yourself, really. Just... Don't let anyone spoil any of this for you. Just dive into it and experience the joy of it. Don't worry about the fact that it's over 4 hours of storytelling. Tim Foley is a master of his craft. He really doesn't hold you by the hand throughout this, but at the same time, you never feel like you're thrown in the deep end. You never up the creek without a paddle. There is a very intelligent style of storytelling here that I think it's wonderful stuff. It's very Moffat-y, but also refined as well. It's just so moving, and it's just on a level that you never expect Big Finish to be on, really. There's always like that pulpiness to it in a way, I think, that this transcends above. It's something truly special, and I need to go back and re-listen to it at some point.
It came out at the perfect time.
Because
I think that this is such like a winter listen.
It's a cozy one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that as it time travels as well, you're visiting different seasons, I think, it plays quite nicely into that. Slashman says, hope Big Finish get Tim Foley to write for Lady Christina so that we can get an amazing Lady Christina audio, and you two will hopefully be convinced to listen to it.
Let's see.
The Lady Christina meme doesn't stop in this chat, does it?
It will only stop when we listen to it and do a stream on it.
Maybe we should just pretend it doesn't exist. Maybe, when people bring it up, we could just be like, there's a Lady Christina series. I didn't know that.
No. There's New Earth, and that's it.
There's no such thing as Lady Christina.
Brilliant.
Jackie Green, I bought this based on your review and loved it. Definitely a worthy number one. I'm glad.
Thank you.
Our opinion was able to sway you on this one.
And it didn't disappoint, because I think that's the hard thing. When you're like, this is our favorite, hopefully it'll be your favorite too.
Yeah, we don't want to recommend something and then have someone come back to us and say, well, I bought it because you said it was brilliant and I thought it was shit. So,
yeah, and that's the worst thing, because I was so nervous when I was praising Geronimo again. This is great, you'll love it, and I was like secretly going, "Oh God, I hope he likes it."
Joe Bauer says, "Fingers crossed, River continues with Big Finish after her range ends." Very much hope so, Joe.
Yeah, I think as we found out, River's really come into her own, and I think this box set's been a long time coming for her, really, because it shows that River can stand on her own 2 feet with no returning monster or gimmick, no doctor. It's just River being River.
Yeah, and just getting one long amazing story to show off what an incredible character she is in, really. So, friend of the family, brilliant stuff. Cannot recommend it enough. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, absolute banger. Certified by the Poetry Smith boys.
No, it's got our seal of approval.
Yeah, we should get a little seal and get like a little stamp. That's ours.
But shall we talk about what's next then? Do we want to start with River, or should we go through the news a bit more chronologically? I don't know.
Should we talk about what we're looking forward to coming up?
I mean, would that come under... Is there stuff in the news that you're looking forward to as well, though? Because I'm just being...
Let's have a look at the news.
Okay. Apparently, David Bradley let slip at a convention he was recording some more Big Finish, says Joe. Oh,
good.
I mean, we've known they were doing something for quite a while, but it's good to know that it's now in the process of actually being recorded.
Looking at the news, there is something definitely I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, shall we start with River since we just ended with her? I think that.
Yeah, let's
more details in the cover.
Let's do that. Let's talk about River. Because it was a glorious cover, and yeah, the Radio Times revealed it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I mean, we've had quite a bit. Some days it's been double news, hasn't it? Like today.
Yeah, which is nice.
It makes a nice change.
Here we go.
We've had 2 pretty dry weeks, haven't we?
Yeah, we're eating goods this week.
Yeah. I mean, this was announced towards the end of last week. I think it was last Friday, wasn't it? Now, this Friday.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, we get our cover. We also get a few more details here. And something I noticed as well that works out quite nicely is River's final story on TV is the husbands of River Song. River's final story in the Diary of River Song audio series, at least, is the wife of River Song. So there's a nice bit of mirroring there with those two. So I think, that's, if it's going to have to end, at least it ends poetically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a shame that we're going to be saying goodbye to this. But you've got River seemingly in her smuggler look there on the cover from the first story, which is the excisemen, a smuggler's inn on the Cornish coast in the 18th century is under attack and never do a deal with the excisemen. So, I mean, intriguing. Harvest of the Croton. Oh, sorry, you go.
I was going to say, it sounds like an atypical River story, which is nice.
Yeah, nice to see her in new territory. I think we don't often see River in the past as much as we probably should do. I think it's any sort of period piece is one she works well in. Harvest of Crotons now, we're going to a more modern day style story here. This is the Jackie Tyler one, and as we'll come to, August seems to be the month of Jackie Tyler, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. I love, these are very quick, quirky descriptions here. What are the Crotons? Why are they running a health spa? Jackie Tyler and River Song investigate because everyone needs a direction point. They're very quirky little synopsises here.
I feel like I need to watch for Crotons before this.
I feel like Jackie's sort of James Goss has sort of become the go-to writer for Jackie Tyler as well, it seems.
Yeah, he's just brilliant with Jackie.
Yeah, he seems to know what to do with her. So yeah, that should be. I think I'm just looking forward to a fun one there, really, is what we have to expect with that. Dead Man Talking now. Tim Foley. So we've got high hopes for this one already. Among the wreckage of the planet Earth, an old lady treasures a terrible relic that reminds her of her son. River Song has come to take it away. Again, quick.
Yeah.
They don't waste time with these synopsises. And yeah, I feel like it's hard to really know what to say about this one. And then finally, the wife of River Song. River Song is on an expedition seeking the hive. Her sister is trapped in the ruins of the hive. River Song is on a honeymoon. 3 realities meet. Again, not sure what to expect there, really. I mean, we've got Brooke back. And that's about all I have to say on the stories themselves. But the cover, I mean, what you seem to be very big fan of this cover.
I think it's River in the smuggler's outfit. I'm like, oh yeah, it makes for a nice change because it's not like a TV costume we've seen her in.
Yeah. Do you know who did the cover?
No.
Sean Longmore.
Of course, it's Sean Longmore. Of course, it is. Yeah,
I do love Sean Longmore's work, and he's certainly done a brilliant job here. But I do feel like it's kind of sad that Rafe Wallbank didn't get to finish this off after he took over with series 10 and 11 and did some beautiful covers there. I think he often goes a bit more experimental with his covers, like especially when you look at the Avengers stuff. There seems to be a bit, and the Eighth Doctor Adventures, connections and what lies inside. There's something quite nice about his cover style. Whereas this just feels more standard, beautifully done standard, but no, it sort of gives me the same sort of layout as Stone Cold.
Yeah.
I think that sort of jumps out to me.
I can see that.
So I'm certainly not against this cover by any means, but at the same time, I do feel like it's a bit of a shame that, especially after Sean Longmore took over the 8th Doctor as well with Audacity, it's like, it's hard to say because we don't know the behind-the-scenes reason for it. It could be Rafe himself not wanting to or not being able to do them for whatever reason. But yeah, I think Sean Longmore does brilliant stuff. He's done loads of covers, but yeah, I hope that Big Finish don't push out other artists as well because there's room for quite a few different styles there. And so I hope that we do get to see more of Rafe Wallbank's work in the future. But yeah, as for this, I do like that we got a different color to the logo, although it does feel a bit weird that we're changing it for the last one.
Makes it more special because it's got a different color logo.
Yeah, it's the golden one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking forward to this box set.
Will you be using your £10 voucher?
Yeah, maybe that's where it will go to. I mean, I think it's going to be the next thing I get at this point because most of the other stuff is pre-ordered through bundles already. So, yeah.
Not the audio novel?
Probably not. Sorry, Adric. The box art reminds me of Stingray for some reason, says Sam.
Oh, okay.
Crotons are okay. They're just trying to make more Dalek-like monsters. Season 6 had a thing for that. Yeah, with the Quarks as well.
Yeah. I guess that's a 60 thing. What can fill that void, isn't it, of Daleks?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we'll see it with this one. What should we talk about next?
Should we continue the Jackie train?
Yeah, might as well. We got a through line there, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Should we talk about Jackie?
Yeah. Do you want to throw this one up and
I'll throw
get
Jackie
ready
up.
some covers because we got to go off of the website for these ones.
Yeah. So I'll share the screen now. So we've got the next details for Once and Future, which is Too Good to Be True. Two's Company, isn't it? I think it's called.
Yeah, it is. This is the one by Lisa McMullen, or one of the two by Lisa McMullen, isn't it? She's doing the Time Lord Immemorial as well. No, the Union, sorry. Is the other one from this set that she's doing. It's a very bizarre combination, isn't it?
There's so many memes that have come from this, like with Dartboard. Yeah.
The shopping list thing, which Big Finish even mentions themselves in that. I think it's a quote from Matt Fitton about the shopping list of different characters you want for an anniversary. And here they are. But I also appreciate this for the fact
it's something new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's throwing together different characters that we wouldn't normally get. That's sort of what I like about anniversaries. Like having rewatched the 5 Doctors the other day, one of the highlights of that was the first Doctor and Tegan. While it's great having the third Doctor and Sarah Jane going off together and second Doctor and Brigadier, it's also nice having these characters who would have no other reason to meet other than in an anniversary story and really running with that. And this looks to be very much what's going on here. It does sort of have a feel of the sort of, okay, we've given all these other ones out. This is just what we've got left. This is our spare pieces. Let's put them together and see what we can do here. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see how this works out timeline-wise, because when the Doctor knew Lady Christina, was it Planet of the Dead and onwards, Jackie Tyler was already on a parallel world. So assuming this is taking place in somewhat contemporary RTD1 era, is this either before Lady Christina meets the Doctor, or is Jackie Tyler somehow back? Is there something else going on here? Who knows? And we've also got older Harry thrown in there as well. I mean, he was sort of like the odd piece of the puzzle, really, because we had this big announcement of all the other characters we've got coming. And, when Harry wasn't included alongside Sarah and Unit, it was a question of, okay, where's he going to pop up? But now he's getting to meet the 6th Doctor as well. He's done the 7th. He's obviously done 4th. Let's throw him with a different Doctor as well. And alongside a character played by Michael Maloney called the Renegades.
Which there are 2 theories about, isn't there? One is Omega.
Is it?
Because I think in the working title for 3 Doctors, I think it was just known as Renegade.
Ah, I see. So it could be homaging that there.
Or it's an incarnation of the 11.
Yeah, that's right. With 2's company being the title.
That's
the theory I'm more leading to as well. I mean, it's interesting that both Sarah and Harry now seem to have been kidnapped by different versions of Time Lords and tricked in one way or another across Once and Future. I wonder which companion has met the most Doctors, says Sam.
Probably Clara.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but we don't count that. It's a cheat.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, really. Plus, they weren't all Clara because they were splinters.
True.
It's not the same character meeting them. One could argue. I mean, Mel's certainly up there in terms of being in the same story as different Doctors.
Yeah.
Because she's got, 1, 5, 6, 7, Fugitive, 14, soon to be 15 as well, and 13. So she's certainly doing well there, but hasn't technically met a lot of those. Joe Bauer says probably River or maybe Sarah. I mean, and Lethbridge Stewart comes up there as well. I suppose they're sort of like do they count as companions or are they special characters?
Yeah,
not your typical companion, I guess, is the way to put it. But yeah, certainly River has met a lot, and so has the Brigadier. I think River's met more. Would you throw audio in?
I mean, she had the chart in Husbands. So she's met every Doctor.
Yeah. I mean, certainly, when it comes to audio, as Stardust once pointed out, she's met every Doctor except the 2nd. I mean, not the 13th either, at least on audio or on TV. I feel like there might be some.
There'll be something
expanding their story, which I mean, we don't count because it's not. I don't. It ruins the ending of Husbands of River Song. I feel if the Doctor gets to meet her again afterwards, that should sort of like be the goodbye to River from his perspective. It wonderfully loops back round to Silence in the Library there. But anyway, Finish news. Excited for 2's company?
Yeah.
I mean, shall we theorize a bit on what's coming up next now? Because we've got 3 main stories left. We've got 3 Doctors, 8, 9, and 10. And supporting character-wise, we've got Liv, David Warner's Unbound Doctor, the Paternoster Gang, and I think that's it. Oh, and Missy. So, yeah, based on this bizarre combination, where do you think we're going with the next lot? I mean, we know that
Unbound's safe.
Yeah, but could Missy turn up there? Could Liv turn up there?
I feel like Missy would be with Tennant for some reason, and McGann with Paternoster.
I feel like McGann's got to be with Liv. Yeah, I don't know. Will it? I feel like Paternoster are the ones that are up in the air between 8 and 10 for me. I mean, I don't know which I'd really prefer. I was sort of hoping for Paternoster and 6th Doctor. But maybe because we're just sort of used to him being the Jago Lightfoot Doctor. He suits the Victorian era very well. But obviously, we've now got him in this story. I hope they also continue to mix up the order a bit, like maybe go for 10th Doctor next and 9th and 8th.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So we'll see where those combinations go. But yeah, I think certainly it now feels like it's narrowed it down a lot more that we've got these 3 together.
Yeah.
It sort of puts a lot of the confusion out of the way to say, oh, okay, now this makes a bit more sense as to where things could be going. Who Stylish One says Paternoster and 8 probably. The 10th Doctor one is so far waste they might not have actually announced any of the characters he's meeting. I mean, that depends whether the 10th Doctor one is the final, the coda or not, or if the coda is going to be something else. Because we got 7 main Doctors in this series. We've got 7 releases in the main line and then the coda. So I feel like it makes sense for 10th Doctor did they specifically announce him as the 10th Doctor? Or did they just say David Tennant's going to be in this?
I think it's probably just a David Tennant.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's technically not the 10th Doctor anyway, because it's 8 regenerating.
Yeah.
Or the War Doctor, perhaps, in degeneration mode. We'll see. We'll see where this series goes. But, yeah, I mean, I don't get the hate towards this combination. I think it's nice having fun different ones. But at the same time, I can get why it's being memed a bit.
Yeah.
I think there's
I'm a little bit concerned that it's an hour.
And
you've got to try and make sure every character's got a fair, crack at the whip.
Yeah. I mean, do we care if Lady Christina doesn't get a fair crack at the whip?
Who knows? It might be to actually buy the spin-off. But we'll see. We'll see on that. We'll see.
That's it. Shall we take a look at 9th Doctor now?
Yeah, let's take a look at some Eccleston.
There we go. Yeah. Travel in the Hope. Hope sounds like a name they would have chosen for a Time War companion, so I'm glad that they haven't yet, because that would change the meaning of that title a little bit. Are we going to get Travel in Bliss next?
Oh, I mean, to be fair, that could be the next, Time War set.
Yeah, we've had Cass. But yeah, I mean, it sort of feels like just business as usual, really.
See, I was misled by this.
Oh no,
I thought, oh my god, we're gonna get like a box set just on like Peladon or something like that. And then I saw the individual covers like a little bit later. I was like, oh, okay, they're separate. So I got a bit dashed. I was like, oh wow, we're getting like this long story. That'd be cool.
No, I saw it and then read the article and realized, that's what they're going for. But yeah, I never got my hopes up for a single long story. We know too well.
Travel in Hope,
Yeah, there you go. I suppose the fact that it's Travel in Hope as well sort of gives it away. He's traveling. He's doing. It's sort of like summing up what they're doing with the 9th Doctor, really, isn't it?
I hope it works.
Out there, yeah, he's out there trying to re-find his faith in the universe, really, after the Time War destroyed a lot of that, and I suppose faith and hope in himself as well.
Yeah,
he's looking for something to hope for, and so yeah, it's
not roles.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Into the Stars last August, it's all future stories. So that makes it slightly worrying, I suppose, because we weren't too big a fan of Into the Stars. But at the same time, it's a nice change from what was the previous box set called? Pioneers, where that was 1 future and 2 past. So it's nice to mix things up again after that. But I'm missing my present day stories.
Yeah, well, that seems to be like where the Eccleston stuff sort of does all right.
I mean, that's certainly where he thrived and lived on TV for the most part.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Get us back to Scotland in 2004.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
But yeah, I mean, individual covers. We have below there, right here. I mean, it's nice that you've got this almost Satellite 5 looking base there, but slightly different. Yeah, I think this is meant to be the more spooky story of the set, isn't it? By Laura Mooney and Stuart Pringle.
I mean, they did a good job with Grey Mare.
Yeah, we're good fans of them. So looking forward to seeing what they can do with the 9th Doctor here. Next up, we have The Butler Did It, not by Robert Valentine.
Yeah, that confused me because I thought, I wonder if Butler did it, and then the Paladin one, whatever that one's called, Link, boxing,
Yeah, they've just messed it up, and probably will fix it in time for the proper release. But yeah, this is a murder mystery, as you can imagine from the title, set on a spaceport, isn't it? And I think it's a really strong cover, although don't look too closely at Eccleston's face. But yeah, I like the colours of this one though. I think it's a combination we've not had in the Ninth Doctor Adventures yet, so it makes a nice change. But intrigued by that one. And finally, Run, which is a nice little pun because it's about Alpha Centauri running for the head representative or something of the Galactic Federation.
Yeah.
Against Jane Asher's character. Who was it? Bellatrix Vega. Which is that Vega Nexus? Is there a connection there?
I think so. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, the one with chap with the big eyes who gets killed pretty quickly into part 1 of the Monster Peladon. But it's interesting because it's not a Peladon story as such. It seems it's more just a Galactic Federation story.
Yeah, because Paladin got destroyed in the Time War.
Or did it?
Oh yeah, there we go.
I mean, the 10th Doctor was able to visit it in
in a book.
Yeah. And also, that was referenced in a story where things seem to get undone at the end as well. Twice, actually, it gets destroyed in a story that things seem to get undone at the end of. Poor Peladon. It's going through the mix a lot there, isn't it? But yeah, again, not a bad cover. Nice having Ice Warriors around again. Seemingly more peaceful this time.
Yeah. I think that was one thing on the Eccleston list for me.
Yeah, an Eccleston Ninth Doctor story. Yeah. And again, it's another continuing the run of Doctor Who monsters in Eccleston sets, isn't it? He's ticking them off one by one as it goes through these. So we've had the Maggots, the Vashta Nerada, Sea Devils, Sontarans, Cybermen. Make his way through them.
Yeah.
I mean, excited at all, or does it just seem like business as usual?
I'd say business as usual.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Pioneers made us a bit more hopeful.
I
don't think we've. But I don't think the curse is broken at all. I think there's still some issues with this range that I hope is able to get past. I'm also getting a bit tired of the one-parters still.
I think that's the thing. We like long storytelling. Give Eccleston like a War Doctor Begins set.
And also just variety in storytelling as well, like lengths and such.
I want a 2-parter again, please.
Yeah, at least a 2-parter. Be nice. Especially for a finale. And that's definitely what Series 2 was missing. Open to Watch says, personally, I prefer stories where the Ice Warriors as the good guys, not sure why, just to interest me more. Well, that's fair enough. I don't think it's nice how we can have both, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's when they harp too much on the honor angle that I sort of get a bit peeved off of it, especially when it's the honorable Ice Warriors as the bad guys. I think when you got them honorable and goods, it works out all right. Which is why
I'm that in Ice Heist.
Yeah, it's what I like about Ice Heist is that that's very much taking that and pissing all over it and saying, honor doesn't put food on the table and such. So yeah, good on Guy Adams for twisting that and using it in a story. Ben, in the lead up to the next River set and July being quite a month for me, release, will you go back to the Diary of River Song Series 2, which is great? It's a stylish one.
Maybe. So we've got plans we've got to do a River one now, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we do.
So I'll probably do my homework for that. So I will listen to River Series 2 this year.
Yeah. You got to get through Series 10 as well, haven't you? And then is that it? Are you all done after that?
And yeah, Series 1 I've got to do as well, actually.
Oh, okay.
Right. So then that'll be me done.
See how quiet July ends up being then.
Yeah.
It's not just River we got to get through.
That's true, actually, yeah.
You've got to dive into the Dead Star now.
Yeah, I've got to do a Dead Star. Because of something coming out in November, which I think we'd like to talk about.
I'm just going to leave you with the chat for a quick moment, and then
that's all right. That's okay.
We can talk some Sixth Doctor news when I get back.
Yeah, we'll talk about Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, we're not done with news yet.
There's a lot of news, like we say. It's been a big news week, so let us know if you've got any questions while Luke's gone away. Let's just have a little chat. Now Ben's got to be the first 100 towards 2020 stock that gift card. I mean, I have done the 2024 order. So that £10 voucher will probably go on River or maybe the audio novel. Not decided which one to do yet. I like the sound of Butler did it. Yeah, sounds like a good one. Does sound like a good one, but like we say, it does. Ninth Doctor there needs be a bit more variety, But there is hope for, Billy Piper, because I think there was like a convention where Eccleston was like, "Tell Big Finish, get Billy." So hopefully, that's the next big thing for Eccleston, because that's what we want secretly. Did you ever finish Series 4 and Series 7, Ben, of River Song? Yeah, I did actually. And the Fourth Doctor story is brilliant. And Series 7, yeah, really enjoyed it, actually. Really enjoyed it going back to it. Any recommendations? Hey, he's back. Any recommendations for the remainder of 2022? Geronimo, War Doctor Begins.
Yeah. What's that? He Who Fights Monsters, isn't it?
Yeah, He Who Fights Monsters, which
the definitive War Doctor story.
Yeah, it's the best War Doctor story Big Finish have done. I think it's up there with Engines of War, if you've read that. Or listen to it. Any other ones in
that? Soho?
Yeah, Soho was good. I think Kaleidoscope might give you a few listens, and then you'll get it, because it's something completely different.
Yeah, I mean, What Lies Inside for Paradox of the Daleks alone, that is 10 out of 10. Dalek action. Yeah, but shall we talk about what's it? Purity Beyond now.
Unbound, isn't it?
Unbound, sorry.
Okay.
That's not even one of the three of them as well. I think it's because I've just read Beyond War Games in the chat for Star Trek. I'm blaming you, Star Trek, when you threw me off there. I think, yeah, no David Warner in this, sadly, though.
Oh, imagine.
But you know what? I'm kind of excited for this one. I think particularly the middle story, The Corruptions by Mark Wright, really stands out to me. But anyway, I mean, it seems that this is the conclusion of the Sixth Doctor, Mel and Hebe Harrison arc. Which is...
That feels quite nice, actually, but it's just 4 box sets. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of... It feels like a while since we've had Hebe, though, because she wasn't in the third box set, really. So, but at the same time, I suppose it's hard to tell how much of this was Big Finish decision and how much of it was, the fact that BBC are getting both Bonnie and Ruth on board for the upcoming specials and series. So it's hard to tell, really. But certainly, I enjoyed Purity Unleashed. Yeah, Purity Unleashed. That's the
one. That's the one.
Third one in the range, but second Purity one. It was nice getting to go back into history there, exploring different sides of that. And I'm now very excited to see how things wrap up here. As I was saying earlier, particularly with the second one by Mark Wright, as we've got like this sort of two different sides of the motorway, don't we? As you've got this shiny, happy village of Pease Pottage, where Mel, Hebe, and Elise are having a jolly good time. Meanwhile, the Doctor is in the Pease Pottage Services, a nightmarish realm. And I love when Doctor Who takes these sort of halfway places, similar to what Station to Station does.
Yes.
Because there's always this weird feeling about them while traveling, isn't there? Going to service stations. I mean, it's something that what's Horror of Glam Rock.
Yes.
Picks up on, isn't it? I love that it's taking that and doing something weirdly warping of reality with it, sort of like Sapphire and Steel with Assignment 6 there. I'm very excited by that middle one for that premise alone. I'm looking forward to that. And I mean, what about you? Have you listened to much of Purity Unleashed yet?
I've only done the first story. Mel Takes on Broadway or whatever it's called, which I enjoyed.
Broadway Belongs to Me. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Which I enjoyed because that had a nice fun twist. But
I think that's a box set then proves that it goes on as well, I'll say.
I think because I've not been that invested in this sort of stuff, I've kind of not. It's wrong to say not paid much attention to it, but I guess I'm kind of ready to say goodbye.
Yeah, I think I am happy to hear that this is now ending. Sad to say, but I think I have enjoyed it at the same time, though. It'll be interesting to see if it wraps up strongly. I think it could do a Doom Coalition. In the second box set of that left a really bad taste on it. I was sort of soured us on the whole series, but actually things came together very well in 3 and 4, and so did sort of improve the whole. So hopefully this sort of has that quality to it in the end, where a strong ending is able to bring it all together nicely. I'm looking forward to this, seeing how it all wraps up, and then being able to put it behind us and explore different eras of the Sixth Doctor, because it has been very Mel-centric recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, which is not a bad thing.
No, definitely not. And I mean, certainly it's something we wished upon ourselves in a way, because we were saying for a while, can we get more Sixth Doctor Mel? Can we get more Mel in general? It's been a while since she's been around. And then they overloaded us to the extent that she spilled out of Big Finish back onto TV on more than one occasion. But Bonnie's great. I'm so happy to have her back in Series 14. But at the same time, I won't be sad to hear less of her in favour of other Sixth Doctor companions, because Peri's been left out in the cold for a little while.
2019?
Yeah.
2020?
I think 19, wasn't it?
90, oh crikey.
Oh, no. We did have 2020 with Flight of the Pimpernel.
Oh, yeah, that was a banger.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, certainly it's been a while. Give me some more Peri, please. And also, can we mix it up with the two-parters? Yeah, because I think it works for this series, though, because it is all interconnected. I don't think I ever feel like I'm being cheated by it being a two-parter. But I think once we move beyond this arc and get onto other stuff, give us some 4-parters again would be nice for the Sixth Doctor. That's all like where he's comfortable. That was where he was really doing well in the main range as well. I mean, is there any other articles to talk about, or should we get on to the big one now?
I think, what else we
got? No. There is one right at the start of the week. It feels we've had so much news. It feels like so long ago now.
Are we talking about a certain audio novel?
We are indeed.
Yes.
I almost forgot we hadn't talked about it yet. But yeah, I mean, it's a news week that started off strong and only continued.
I just continued.
Yeah, I mean, you're the big Third Doctor fan here. What do you
think? This is just for 60th anniversary, isn't it?
I mean, it's out in November as well.
I am just so excited for this because the idea of having two Sarahs meet, brilliant. And Jon Culshaw, who we both love, we adore Scourge of a Cyberman. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. It's the best Cyberman story in any Doctor Who medium. And this feels like a love letter to me in a way, because it's the 70s is my jam, and these are my two classic Doctors, so I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, Jon Culshaw does a great Third Doctor as well, doesn't he, in his audio novel readings, and also he's famous for doing his Fourth Doctor impressions as well, isn't he?
So and he does a good Sarah Jane as well.
Yeah, he gets her character down really well, and I'd be interested to see how those two interact, because they are two very different kinds of Sarah, aren't they?
Yeah.
The way she bounces off the Fourth Doctor is very different to the way she bounces off the Third. So yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out. And I think as well, with it being an audio novel, it being approximately 6 hours, you've got time to build up to that meeting. You don't. Whereas things like Out of Time sort of had to throw the characters together pretty quickly because the plot's ever moving. This, you have time to really, almost have two separate stories going on before they then collide. And having Omega there as well, it's just perfect for an anniversary story, isn't it?
And I like how it's sort of homaging the Three Doctors Target book with Omega reaching out.
Yeah, with those hands there.
Yeah,
I will say, it's sort of like the hands don't really feel like they're part of Omega, though.
Yeah,
I wonder if they're taken directly from the cover of the Three Doctors and then drawn.
Yeah, probably.
Because that seems to be the style here. But yeah, they certainly do look a bit separate from Omega. It's like two different styles. I like the homage there.
I mean, it'd been great if they had,
as well as it could have done.
3 and 4 underneath.
That's true. I suppose that's just the nature of this layout. You can't really get that.
Yeah.
In there, can you? I mean, it shows that these covers can be pretty good, though. Compared with something like the James Robert McCrimmon one.
And it's just nice to see, these two Doctors get their own sort of anniversary release, especially the Third Doctor, who isn't getting his own adventure Once and Future. So it's nice to see
Unless they spring a big surprise on us.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that, and it's nice to know that the audio novels are doing well enough for them to commission a special for the anniversary as well.
Yeah, because this isn't the sixth audio novel that they previously announced. That's still coming out in January. This is a bonus one for November. So things are looking good for that range. And hopefully it does continue at a pace of 2 a year. But it's scary thinking that, we are now at that point where when it was first announced, like, oh, they're planning ahead with these.
Yeah.
But now suddenly we've got the fifth one out next week, 5th of July.
I wonder if we get the January one revealed soon.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if they're going to hold it off until closer to this one, maybe.
Who
knows? But yeah, I mean, also this is quite close to the 50th anniversary of Sarah, because that's December 15th with the Time Warrior turning 50.
We'll have to do something special then.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we will. I've been thinking we have 7 main Doctors in Once and Future, but 8 parts. If 1, 2, and 3 are in an episode themselves, then the coda is probably the Tennant one. Maybe, who knows? See how they go about it. It's all that coda's sort of like the curveball one, isn't it? Really, it's hard to tell what's going on there.
It's not out with the usual bunch, is it?
Yeah, and we're sort of like being told that the Time Lord Immemorial is very much the wrap-up point. That's the big finale.
Do you imagine Coda would be some sort of multi-Doctor thing? Will it have the 14th Doctor in? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's Tim Foley, so
yeah. I mean, it will be a banger.
End on a high.
It'll be a banger.
So, without any further ado, shall we take a look at the big news?
The expensive news.
Yeah. The nigh on 300 quid worth of news.
Yeah. Later than usual. We normally get this in May.
I think it works quite nice. I mean, it's even mentioned in the article that they're doing this at the halfway point of the year, aren't they?
They knew we were doing this today, so like, come on, we'll let them have this. Proof that Big Finish watches.
Yeah, they seem to have prepared this whole week for us, haven't they? Like, they're doing the top 5. Let's throw every bit of news we have out there and see how they react. I mean, you've pre-ordered, haven't you?
I have.
I pre-ordered. Yeah, we both got in there.
You kind of exposing us. Look at these guys; they've spent this much already.
Yeah, but we were gonna spend it anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
We might as well save a bit of money by doing it early. And I think I like it when they do these kind of things, like when they did that, buy pretty much all that's left of the main range for 300 and something quids, and you actually get a huge discount there.
Yeah,
which I regret not doing, kind of, even because I did end up getting them all anyway.
Yeah.
So this was just right. Peel the plaster off quickly, and then I don't have to worry about that throughout the whole of 2024.
It's that thing of like, it's the initial spending of it, and then once you've done it, you kind of feel like you're saving money by not.
Yeah, because the money's not going out when those things come. You just get them straight away, so you don't have to worry.
That's why Big Finish just feels like a bit of a bill, and we just pay.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of paying, the prices have gone up, sort of as we predicted. It's now $18.99 for a download of a typical 3-disc release, and $22.99 for the CD. Now, I mean, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
I can't say I'm surprised by it. Like, after the price of the Torchwood Soho and such, Rubber Song, we forgot to mention, that went up in price as well. That's now $22.99 for download and $29.99 for CD pre-order. So yeah, I mean, stings a little bit, but
yeah,
I will say, they gave us the warning this was coming for quite some time, and it's nice that it's not affecting already announced stuff like the 4th Doctor. That is still 60, and it's still like $16.99 for download each and 20 quid for CD, but that'll then go up with the next one. So you're going to have a 4th Doctor Adventure box set with 3 discs for $22.99 when just 2 years before you had a 5-disc one for 20 what's it called? I mean, hopefully we get maybe some individual cover art, even if it's like download only individual cover art. I think we're beyond the point of what we're at with the 9th Doctor Adventures, where we get the individual covers, but, or disc art as well, like Sean Longmore's done for Torchwood 1 Nightmares and the New Adventures of Bernie Summerfield. But I think that would help offset the price increase a little bit.
I mean, you kind of got a hint at the prices when they announced Fugitive Doctor and Sacha Dhawan.
Yeah, that was our first little look, wasn't it? It was like unclear as to whether that was, are they hiking them up because these are
new series
special stuff? Yeah, it's like, this is hot off the press in a way, isn't it? With it being from the Chibnall era,
but wasn't finished.
It's sort of losing, yeah, it was like the current era. Although now it's sort of lost that glamour a bit because we still didn't even have a date for any of them.
Somebody did a tweet going, "Oh my god, guys, look!" And people fell. I was like, "Oh, that's such an evil thing to do." Yeah.
We need people to report that for misinformation and get like the community notes thing on there.
Yeah, this person is lying.
Yeah. So in the article itself, we've got the Fourth Doctor encounters the Sea Devils.
We knew about that. Coming.
Yeah. The Sixth Doctor celebrates his 40th anniversary by encountering some old acquaintances. So yeah, I mean, it says in the article that Sixth Doctor's got one in due for May and August, but actually, they've pushed that first one forward to March to meet the Twin Dilemma air date, presumably.
Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it?
Which I think works quite well, actually. It's nice to have a bit more space between the two of them. Yeah, I mean, hopefully Perry here.
Yeah, and Davros has been mentioned. Terry Malloy said that he's been recording stuff.
So that could be on the way there. I mean, that sort of works for old acquaintances as well, doesn't it? Because it doesn't necessarily say companions.
Yeah.
But it opens it up for both companions and monsters and villains. And I mean, yeah, after the Purity saga, we've not had any recurring monsters, have we? So it'd be nice to get back to that for a bit with the Sixth Doctor. And then finally, the Seventh Doctor is reunited with all his companions as well as some old enemies. Yes, with The Last Day 1 and 2.
Yes.
That starts in November this year and then concludes June next year. So
hopefully it's not a big cliffhanger. Like, come on, I want it to be June next year.
Yeah. This is something we've known about for quite a while, isn't it? This is like one of those promises when they first.
It's from day one, I'd say.
Yeah, when they first announced the relaunch. Yeah. Find out what happened to the Seventh Doctor in his last day. Well, it turns out he did 6 hours worth of stuff in his last day.
Yeah.
I mean,
is it the new Doomsday?
I mean, do you think it'll be the typical half-hour parts, or do you think they'll go down the 1 hour long route for these ones?
I reckon it'll be 1 hour.
I feel like that'd be fitting. Make it more of an event. Do you think it's going to be like The Last Adventure was, though, where it's stories from across this era leading up to the final episode being the almost regeneration story, but not quite, because that's technically the what's it called, TV movie?
I feel like they started doing that with Silver and Ice, because in the Cyberman one, you got sort of the season 24 McCoy. Then the Ribos inheritance, you got a transition towards the sort of chess player Seventh Doctor.
Yeah, but could there be a whole arc going on, like how we had with the Valeyard with this?
I hope so, because we like that type of thing, so I want that.
But I mean, the other option there is, since it's reunited with all his old companions, I suppose, the way it says reunited as well sort of implies that, he's meeting them on his last day. So, more Mel to come.
Yeah.
As well as some old enemies. So, I mean, hopefully they go for the less obvious ones. Like, I mean, we've already had Daleks and Cybermen and Vashta Nerada as well in his relaunch run so far. So
I just want elder gods, just some big.
I mean, I wonder if this will pick up directly after Dark Universe, because that seemed to be setting up something.
Yeah,
for the later Seventh Doctor, didn't it? Because could we see Lalla Ward's Romana in here?
That'd be nice.
I mean, it's interesting though that half the thing of the relaunch was we're getting away from numbered box sets now.
Yeah.
And we've got 1 and 2 here. And then what's going to be more confusing is on the spine, you're presumably going to have 4 and 5 for the overall box set numbers. Like, I kind of wish they went down the Purity route and gave them similar but distinct titles. I mean, maybe they still will, and this is just preliminary stuff. But I mean, it's also nice that you can get those two together as a bundle as well, if you're just interested in the Last Day stuff and you don't.
Which I think a lot of people are.
Yeah. So it's nice that they've done that, and it feels right to start it in November. I think McCoy, especially like later McCoy, suits the more wintry time of year as the evenings are drawing in. I mean, it's something that I can't say I've ever been too overly fussed about, though. As a concept.
I really like what Big Hunch have done with late McCoy. A prime example is I think percussions or something like that. Precursor or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's the first Will Arrowsmith one, isn't it?
Yeah, first Will Arrowsmith one, and there's a line. Persuasion, that's it. And it's very late McCoy, because it has a line where McCoy's finishing all the business he can right now because he doesn't think the man he becomes has the stomach for it. And there's a really nice weary McCoy performance in it, and it's the best example, I think, of TV movie McCoy, and that's just made me quite excited. Just off that premise of The Last Day.
Stylish ones come out with something interesting here. Imagine if we get McQueen Master. It's his late days as 7th Doctor. Yes, stylish one. I want McQueen Master. We need more of it.
I've been meaning to listen to the Two Masters again, actually.
That's another older McCoy as well.
Yeah, it is.
Older 7th Doctor. But I mean, for me, it's more just the whole thing of making the end of a Doctor's life an event. It's a very new series thing. I think there's something somewhat poetic about the fact that the 7th Doctor is this master planner, and he's foreseeing every possibility, he's manipulating everyone, and yet just random act of chance is what ends up getting him in the end. And I don't think there necessarily needs to be any big epic event just before that to somehow add to his regeneration. I think for the 6th Doctor, it was useful because, Colin Bacon never got his proper farewell story. He was just McCoy in a wig on the console, who hit his head on the console and then landed up on the TARDIS floor. But yeah, here I'm not so sure if this is for me yet. I mean, I've already picked it up.
Yeah. You've got both.
I'm sure I'll like
it for the ride.
I mean, I enjoyed Far From Home a lot.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's maybe throwing me a bit as well. Like, actually, can we just carry on with Harry and Naomi, please? Although they'll probably maybe be here anyway, since he's
they'll be in
meeting all his old companions. But yeah, other stuff to come. After the First Doctor's strange disappearance at the end of the Interesting Incident, we rejoin him in a series of beautifully unexpected adventures with some familiar faces returning. Now, so Stephen Noonan's getting to meet some new characters, or new old characters.
Yeah, which is exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah, very much looking forward to where things go there. Hopefully a 6-parter. That's what we've
and something with Daleks, I think, because the First Doctor is the Dalek Doctor,
Yeah, I think for the recasts as well.
It's a baptism
of
fire.
Yeah, I know that's how Tim Trelaw felt when he first got to meet them with the Conquest of Far, wasn't it? He was like, right, I am now properly playing the Doctor. Oh, Joe Bowers says Susan.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Perhaps the one day he comes back at last.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a box set title in itself, couldn't it?
Yeah, literally, couldn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, beautifully unexpected adventures. That's curious as well. Yeah, I mean, I suppose we can now talk about that cliffhanger a bit, because Nick Briggs himself has revealed it here, the disappearance at the end of the Interesting Incident. I mean, that would make sense for Daleks as well, because, you have that line in the War Machines.
Don't mention the War Machines.
Yeah, Stephen Aldrich tells us not to mention. Don't know why. Don't know what he's going on about there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you've obviously got the line to Dodo about the same sensation when I met the Daleks. He said, Daleks? Who are they? And, he's going, of course you didn't meet them, did you, child? So this could be a way of having that time period of First Doctor where he's traveling with Dodo, but you can meet the Daleks without Dodo having to meet the Daleks.
Yeah.
But maybe that's where
that loophole. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? The Second Doctor and Jamie, having recently been reunited, find themselves flung into the unknown, with everything turning out not quite as it seemed. I mean, that just seems like carrying on as business as usual for Second Doctor and Jamie, really.
It's hard to judge that one because we've not listened to the first set to see where it goes.
Yeah, and I suppose that's they can't reveal too much about what's upcoming when we still have that first set to listen to first. But yeah, I mean, again, similar to Hopes of the First Doctor, 6-parter, please.
Yeah.
I think especially with this set, how we've got 3 2-parters, that sort of focusing more character, building up the Second Doctor and Jamie dynamic again as they've reunited. Now, after we've done that in a few shorter stories, throw them into a big epic one and just have a blast with it, really. And I mean, I suppose it'll be time for a Cyberman story sooner or later, won't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Or even yes, would be nice.
Yeah. Hopefully, James Robert McCrimmon avoids that, though, for now, just because we had Daleks and Ice Warriors in Beyond War games.
Well, there's meant to be a monster in one of them, isn't
there?
Yeah,
it's the middle one, isn't it? Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, certainly less returning monsters for a while. I wouldn't complain about the Second Doctor, just because we started off very heavy with that. And it's it sort of loses the appeal after a while if it's every single box set the Second Doctor's encountering some monster. But anyway, Third Doctor heads out into space again with Sarah Jane Smith and continues his second time around Odyssey with seasoned space traveler Jo Jones. Boo! Where's Liz?
Literally, I was like, I really want season 7.
Yeah, like especially because it was Annihilators where we last had that at the start of 2022. Then we had Sarah. We've had Jo at the start of this year. We're getting Sarah at the end of this year. And now next year we're getting Sarah again and Jo again. I mean, yeah, it's nice. But at the same time, Liz is there. Please.
Sarah and Liz would be a nice combo.
Yeah. Maybe they could still have that up their sleeve, couldn't they?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not sure about this next because it looks like it's going to be Sarah in February, I guess, and then more Jo in October, the way this is ordered here. So with heading out into space again, that looks like a futuristic story, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could that be one big 6-parter? Hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah. But then that makes me wonder what's going on at the end of this year. If we're heading out to space again now, are we going to be getting more space adventures at the end of this year? Or is the end of this year going to be another unit one? Yeah, could do. Apparently they recorded another Liz story and maybe they're stocking up on Third Doctor Adventures then, says Joe Bowers. Could be. Unless they're just referring to the upcoming Sarah story.
Yeah, they could do actually. Yeah.
Like that's what they talk about there, and then it's Jo in February, and who knows what in what's it called, October next year. I mean, yeah, we still October this year is the last box set we have yet to get details for, because we've got at least a title for every other box set this year. Although we do know Sarah's going to be in it at least.
Yeah. I mean, either way, we've got it pre-ordered. We'll listen to it. We're probably,
Yeah, just hope it. And after Return of Jo Jones, that was just a one-off fluke, and it's not a downward trend for the Third Doctor going forward.
Yeah, I mean, it should give that one another go, actually.
Yeah, maybe. There's just so much new stuff to get through first as well. Yeah. And finally, there's also some cracking stories for the 5th and 8th Doctors. Really imaginative, celebratory adventures that feel like classic Doctor Who turned right up to 11 in the best of ways. Yeah, it's just sort of giving their namesakes there, isn't it, really, after teasing the others. It's like, yeah, we're doing more with them.
Yeah,
we're not going to tell you what.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know whether Audacity carries on or it goes back to something else.
I kind of hope we get more Liv and Helen. I hope we sort of
alternate.
Have on-off years, alternate between Audacity's Arc Continuing and Liv and Helen stuff. Have you seen Nicola Bryant said at a convention she apparently recorded audios for next year? Yeah, we did hear about that. Like we say, we hopefully getting her in the first box set for the 6th Doctor next year, or at least the first. Which would make sense if you're celebrating, because it's also 40 years of Perry actually.
Oh yeah,
with Planet Fire, so celebrate them both. Further Adventures of Tamsin and Further Adventures of Molly would be amazing. Yeah, I wonder if they would be. I feel like they're more likely to be bonus ones. Yeah, if we do get them. Yeah, I mean the way they say celebratory adventures that feel like classic Doctor Who turned up to 11 makes me think maybe it is going to be more Audacity, because that seems it's earlier Eighth Doctor who seems to more lean into the classic Who style, and a later Eighth Doctor with Liv and Helen sort of leans more into new series style. Did you hear on the podcast Nick Briggs teased a new novel adaptation of So Vile a Sin?
No.
Well, it's more he was reading out an email where someone asked for it, and he said, "I'll put that to people and we'll see." But I think that's more of just a lip service thing.
Just imagine type thing.
Yeah, pretty much that. Because he did bring up again the point that lots of people come to us with these novel adaptation suggestions, and then we do them, and no one buys them.
Like, I think people need to put their money where their mouth is. Support the things you love, and you'll get the things you love. It's simple,
It might just be a vocal minority of people who are expressing this and actually buying them, but and then there's just not enough support from the more silent majority.
Yeah.
But it is curious that novel adaptations don't seem to do well. I mean, I think one that would do great is Human Nature.
Because, it
would. You've got
Lungbarrow is the obvious one.
Yeah,
I think Lungbarrow and Dying Days would be cool to have, because they're like the harder to get books, so at least people could experience it.
Yeah, I mean that was sort of like what the email was saying, is that what about doing the stories that are harder to get, so that people have a way to experience them without having to spend goodness knows what,
£1 million.
Yeah, on eBay to get the book. But I don't know. I feel like there's a bit of false equivalency there, because I don't think if you're hunting for the book to experience the story,
you want the truth form.
Yeah, you're gonna want the book to experience it. Whereas often people who buy the adaptation are more likely to have already read the book in a way, and they want to see how Big Finish adapt it.
I mean, I would love,
or they've not got interest in the book to begin with. Yeah, like I don't think there's people out there who are reading through these books thinking, "Damn, I can't find this one. If only Big Finish adapted it so that I didn't have to read it." Because the way Big Finish adapt them anyway, it isn't always 100% word for word authentic, which is fair enough. It's an adaptation. That's what it's there for. If you want the one-to-one authentic version of it, read the book.
Yeah.
Every Seventh Doctor companion is a bold claim, says Stylish One. Sally and Lysandra returning. The Klein and Will Arrowsmith cliffhanger shyly resolved. More Chris and Moz. More rags. More mags. More rain.
No
more rags.
No rags. No.
Also, that's the other thing that the latest box set, Far From Home, reminded me of. Harry and Naomi sort of have a similar dynamic with the Seventh Doctor at this point in life to what Chris and Roz had, where they're not just necessarily traveling companions, but almost like agents of his. Particularly Operation Dust, I think, leans into that. How he's sort of like sending him off on different tasks and missions and stuff, isn't he? They sort of play against him nicely like that. So it does feel like a continuation of that, even if it's just a spiritual one. But yeah, come on, more Chris and Roz. Give us that. Please. Yeah. That first box set was a banger, and that's nearly 5 years old now.
Oh, it's on sale right now. Buy it, because it's a beautiful story about McCoy and the relationship with the TARDIS. Vanguard's the weak one, but then you've got 2 quintessential Seventh Doctor ghost spooky stories.
Yeah, I need to go back to that. We need to do a throwback to that one at some point.
We just need to do a throwback review in general, because we've not done one for
no, that's true.
A bit.
And yeah, maybe August will be the time. We've got a throwback of sorts come in July, but it's not necessarily a throwback review. Something different. Stylish, you watch it just be Ace and Mel, says Hooper in the Small Collection.
With a recast of Blitz.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, that is every TV companion at least, so you get away with that there.
Yeah, it's true.
I wouldn't mind Evolution, Thor and Sarah, and the Scales of Injustice Free as a unit get adapted, says Joe Battles.
The Scales of Injustice would be brilliant.
Yeah. Is Evolution a Past Doctor one? Or is that a
adventure?
That is a missing adventure.
The second one they did.
I see. Yeah. And Scales of Injustice, that's definitely missing adventure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like the first canonical appearance of Mike Yates, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But that, I guess, that'd be a bit awkward with what's happening with Richard Franklin, because that's a bit of, that's up in the air. Big Finish have really used Richard Franklin since Unit assembled.
No, I mean that's 7 years ago now.
Ooh, that's scary.
If we were talking, like it says even worse, it's just Hector. No, it's just Hector.
Oh man.
I pray for 7th Doctor and the Brig in the last day for the last stand.
That'd be quite nice though.
I mean, they were great together in Greyman Mountain. Yeah. I mean, that's sort of like a very TV 7th Doctor story, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is this be going much later into his life? So, I think it would be interesting to have that contrast, though, to see what the Brigadier is like with the 7th Doctor earlier on, that season 26 style, and then the later Doctor. Would they get along better or worse? With him being a bit more ends justify the means in some way, I suppose.
Yeah.
With his moment. Or would the Brigadier not like being manipulated by him?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
If Blitz is recast, then he can appear in 6's 40 sets, says Joe. I mean, yeah, he is a reasonably big part of the 6th Doctor's TV run. I mean, he and Syl are the only 2 characters to recur in it, I think. Well, I suppose... Well, yeah, actually, if you're carrying Blitz recurs because it's Trial of a Time Lord, then you've also got the Valiard and the Inquisitor there as well, don't you? Not the kind with the double-bladed red lightsaber.
Well done. Well done.
I mean, I was sort of like wondering, is it Inquisitor? Yeah, it's the Inquisitor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I think when you think that, you're just so connoted with Star Wars now.
Yeah.
That you have to catch yourself
and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, she is pretty grand, isn't she?
Okay.
Frobisher, more Six and Charlie, more Older Perry. Yeah,
I think Frobisher. I think there's been a resurgence because I think our generation of fans have come in and go, "Whoa, Frobisher, so cool!" And obviously, people who got into Big Finish when they were starting out, they were like, "No, we don't want this." But you know,
do you think we'll finally get another Rob Shearman 6th Doctor?
That would be fitting, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So I think they were teasing that a while ago, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
He was working on one, but then nothing ever came up. That was back when we started the sidebar, so that definitely got lost to time, whatever was going on there. More Flipping Constance, says Hubris. Yeah, definitely need that. I think just more variety in general after 4 box sets of 6th Doctor Mel and Hebe. I think the 6th Doctor's got a lot of different companion combinations. Let's start mixing it up a bit now. And I mean, hopefully with the 5th Doctor as well. I'm hoping for, 5th Doctor, Tegan and Turlough again. I think that'd be interesting. And then maybe end off the year with 5th Doctor, Tegan, Nyssa and Adric. I think you're almost always going to have Tegan around with these, aren't you? Unless you just
she's a constant
or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Janet Fielding seems to be really enjoying Big Finish, so no harm in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a good one tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, been good. We've done our top 5. We've talked about a fair chunk of Big Finish news, so
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad.
I'm just scanning through quickly to make sure we haven't missed anything because there's so much of it. Oh, there's got to be something that they snuck out quietly that I didn't realise.
But yeah.
No, I think we got everything.
Well, there we are.
Well done, us.
Well done.
And I suppose on the topic of Frobisher as well, with the TV series adapting Beat the Meep.
Yeah.
You still got anything is possible now, especially when it comes to comics.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he appears.
Yeah. See, Stylish One says more Sixth Doctor and the Master would be great. Yeah, now that we got Jon Culshaw properly as the Ainley Master, I think that would be a nice way to pair them up.
Yeah, Stephen Wright agrees as well.
No. Oh yeah, I had just seen that. Thank you for that comment, Stephen Wright. Yeah,
thank you.
Open Watch says, I wonder why Rob doesn't write Big Finish anymore, despite still being involved. I think he's just a bit too busy, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he kind of. I think there's probably a tendency of I've wrote these banger stories. I don't want to do anything I've done. I think there's a fear there.
I think he's waiting until he's got the right idea for it. He's not trying to force out on a story just because he can. He's sort of like, when I've got a idea for a Doctor Who story that I want to write, I will write it, which I think is fair enough. And I think especially with the conveyor beltness of Big Finish at this point, in some ways, with the sheer quantity of stuff coming out, you sort of have to respect a writer saying, no, I'm not forcing anything. I'm waiting and seeing. Apparently, Rob Sheeran almost didn't write Dalek because he wanted to go out on a high note with his audios. Oh, wow. Yeah, I suppose he's a writer sort of like not obsessed with legacy, but sort of like is interested in preserving that. Because I mean, at the moment, he is very well regarded. There's a reason we are talking about him right now, despite him not having written one for so long, and saying, wouldn't it be amazing if he came back to do another one? And so, there's almost that thing of keep him wanting more, keep him keen. And so, if he's lasted this long and we're still talking about him without him having put anything else out, then does he still need to put anything else out now, or has he, as a Doctor Who writer, stood the test of time? Will he?
Yeah.
He's almost one of those monoliths of Doctor Who at this point, and it's certainly a monolith of early Big Finish. I think he's always going to be strongly associated with that era where they were able to experiment a lot more because there was less BBC restrictions. Jonathan Carley would be a great Delgado master. He was in a fan audio and was really good. Culshaw already has plenty. Give that one to someone else. Yeah, Culshaw has got quite a few recasts under his belt at this point.
He's got a lot.
I suppose, is that it for tonight? Are we?
I think so, yeah.
Wrapping this up. So my top 5 was All of Time and Space, Far From Home from the Seventh Doctor Adventures, the Dead Star, the audio novel read by Michael Troughton, Angels and Demons, the latest Fourth Doctor box set, and at number 1, it was the Diary of a River Song, Series 11, Friend of the Family. 10 out of 10, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, my number 5 was for Demon Song, Ice Heist, and then we had 11th Doctor, All of Time and Space. Then we had Stone Cold, and then, of course, River Song.
Was River Song top for your list as well? Please do let us know in the comments below if you're watching this back at a later date. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, our current viewers, for tuning in, to sticking with us throughout. Hope you enjoyed seeing what we came up with for our top 5s. Please let us know yours as well. And I think that's all there is to say, really, isn't it? Thank you, Lurkers, as well.
Thank you, Lurkers. We appreciate you. And we appreciate you taking the time out of your daily routine to hear us waffle on about Doctor Who. It's lovely. And we hope we can see you next week because we're doing something very special.
We are.
If you know your date, what the 7th of July is, I'll mention this because of Mel. It's not Taylor Swift Day. It's another big thing. So, yeah. And we'll be hopefully joined with a special guest. So,
Jackie Green says, great chat tonight. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Joe Bowers says, thanks, guys. Enjoyed the stream. Thank you. Always a pleasure having you with us, Joe.
It's a pleasure.
Stylish One. thank you for another great stream. Take care, and looking forward to next time. Take care, Stylish One.
And we shall see you very soon. Goodbye, everyone.